Freedom 35, 5, 5, 5.
Dude, start the podcast.
Wow.
You recording, Gordon?
We're recording, Gordon.
All right, guys. Welcome back to Freedom 35ers CNFT Podcast, episode 10, Christmas special. If you haven't noticed by all the lights, if you're watching us out here on YouTube. My name is Tommy. I go by TLMMY.
My name is TJ. I go by Lazy T.
And I am the other Tom. I go by Lavish Bear.
And tonight, Lavish spells nickel.
Belschnickel.
Belschnickel.
Yeah, for sure. The German Santa Claus guy.
Oh, all right. I wish my
I
name
know
was
that from The Office.
Yeah, I was not picking up on the Zoom name for that one today. I'm Thomas the Tank Engine tonight, so it works. Well, guys, yeah, it's Christmas this week, and it sure felt like Christmas this week in the CNFT space. I can tell you that. I'm still playing catch up and processing from everything that's still going on right now. I know my ADA wallet is certainly is feeling it this week.
And I feel like you guys have been opening Christmas gifts all week too.
Dude,
my ADA wallet is empty.
I've spent it all, but I've got so many new gifts for this week. Dude, it's been crazy. So much is going on this week and just trying to play catch up. We got a lot to talk about today, including our recap of the CardanoTrees sit down with Damian, the founder for the add-ons for CardanoTrees. EquineNFT launched their 24-hour mint and sold out way beyond what our guesses and expectations were. We have the Happy Hoppers that minted. That's currently going on a public sale as we speak right now here on this Wednesday recording. We have a brand new space metaverse that's came out from Artifct, the marketplace that used to be XNFT, that is starting to take off. We have PAVIA, the other metaverse that has now launched their own token for airdrop holders. Yummi Universe has done their Winter Naru, the Spoopy burn. And lastly, everybody now has some handles here on ADA that we've gone through. So a lot of stuff to try to fit in tonight. This is, guys, our actual last episode and last podcast of the year for Freedom 35ers, because we will be taking next week off to spend some time with our families and stuff. So we're going to see if we can fit it all in tonight.
Jam it all
that's
in.
what she said. No. Dude, but going back this past week, we got a true honor. Kind of came full circle for us, and it's fun because it's the last kind of episode of the year, and kind of where we started from was we got to interview Damian, the creator of CardanoTrees, which that was a fun sit down. They released their first release since they've dropped back in August itself. They did the add-ons for CardanoTrees, and we got the chance to speak with him, and it was kind of cool to if we think back about it, because the CardanoTrees itself were what really got the conversation started and got us thinking about doing this podcast. Because again, I minted it on Mint Day, a super rare out there, had sold it for a good profit at the time, and it allowed me to get into all kinds of different stuff. And I kind of told you guys about it, and you guys were all on the fence, I think, because you guys were really skeptical about it. And I think that was kind of like the tipping point where it's like, all right, dude, what's going on? Why are these trees worth so much money right now?
Well, that was the first NFT you showed us both. We came on Discord and you were just explaining NFTs to us. And you're like, guys, look at this one. They're like, all right, it's just a picture of a tree. Then you clicked on it. Then it was moving, all that stuff going on. You showed us different ones because yours was sticks at a time, I think, when you showed us. But you were saying the development of what it can get to. And I was just blown away by the technology. And it was cool to hear from Damian on the process that he went through to even get to the trees, or even how he came up with the ideas of doing trees or making something living on the blockchain, which I thought that was pretty amazing, what he's doing, what he's done.
Well, they were so much deeper than we thought too, right?
Oh yeah.
Like I didn't realize, they're already impressive. I'm already impressed by them, like with what they're doing, with how they're alive on the blockchain and everything. It's just cool also to see the NFTs that move. And it was the first one I had actually seen when I was introduced to NFTs that had like that moving effect along with the Aeonium skies. But actually getting to talk to him and then hearing how much deeper it went, that was wild. I mean, I didn't realize how much actually went into that.
Dude, well, I'm saying too, because when we were out there talking to him, it was like the trees are what kind of got us going into this stuff. And the fact that we got a chance to actually sit down with him and learn about how he actually built these things and what the idea was behind him. This, again, we did in the sit down. It was about, I didn't realize there was 50 years of historical data that went into the coordinates of everything. So those trees, the weather cycles, the day-night cycles, all that stuff was built in with actual real data, and which was crazy in itself. And on top of that, just the fact that everything is on chain, that he did it the right way, the way he was doing his stuff and the way he's kind of pushing boundaries, right? So the add-ons were the new thing that they were doing. And I think it's the first that you've seen something that's evolving over time, and you're about to layer different NFTs on top of each other to make one thing. And I think that's such a crazy ambitious thing to actually do, because I don't think anybody's really tried to actually or successfully been able to do that. And here they are about ready to go. So tonight they actually did the release of the actual NFTs in the mint. So
I think it just opens doors to other communities too to do something like that. I mean, because he even said he's willing to teach, or he likes to teach, so he would probably be more than happy to help and show someone exactly what he did or the process to do add-ons for other blockchains, like, or not blockchains, but other NFTs like that living on the blockchain.
Right.
It
and
really
again,
sounded like he just genuinely enjoyed the creative process. Like
Right.
Even when he first did the trees, where he said he had a couple ideas and ended up scrapping them because they were too similar to something that had come out recently, or someone came out while he was developing it, until he finally came up with the tree idea and the living on the blockchain idea from that. So it sounds like, he just enjoys learning and doing it himself too, and then wants to teach others how to do it. Like even when he did these add-ons, it sounded like he kind of had an idea and just said, how am I going to learn how to do this now?
well,
Right,
he even told us, he kind of was breaking it down for us. So like I minted 3 of the things tonight. So basically I did a snapshot on Tuesday this past week of all the OG Cardano tree holders, as well as the Alonso holders. And if you had one of those wallet addresses and under that snapshot, you were able to mint these as pack. It's almost like a bundle of these NFTs for 12 ADA. And they gave you this. One of these was the display NFT, and the rest of these right here were the actual NFTs for the plants, the moon, all these different things that would combine into one thing. But on top of the way to make these things display is the actual display NFT itself. So if you clicked into these things and actually got to see the actual metadata for this stuff as it's loading up right here, he actually had like different layers that were built into these things. So again, it's just a display. There's no actual tree there. But again, there's layers and different sizing options and different things he was explaining. Even to us, we were kind of like learning about it as we were going too, that you're able to actually stack your original Cardano tree and layer up these different things, like size it a certain way, and to be able to mint it. And then they're not fully there yet. So what happened tonight, I know a lot of people were interested in what was going on. So we were minting these things, and you were able, so you got a pack of 3, you got a fancy plant, you got a moon, and then you have the fireworks. The 3 that were really going on. So I don't have the fireworks pulling up in here. But the big thing for me was when you could take these 2 right here, and if you go, there's a certain website that you actually go to right now that you can check this out at, and it's the dnfts.cardanotrees.com. And then you do / your DNFT, whatever number for that display NFT that popped up at the end of it. And it would actually combine the fancy plant and the moon together. So like, here's one of the ones that I had the blue moon. Here with one of my plants that it looks, again, the 2 of them are combined into one image. And it's just essentially the technology that's going to be where they're working on getting the actual tree itself. So they're not there yet. You're not going to actually be able to see everything all in one. That's something that they're working into the beginning of next year. But even still, like, again, all these different fancy plants, different things have different flower types, different rarity, petal colors, stem colors. So those have their own rarity chart inside of them.
And they're all living too, right? Like they're all
correct,
alive on the blockchain as well. Like they'll bloom and everything like that.
Well, so right here, you can actually see inside of that, we're on the sun moon right here. You can actually see the latitude and longitude, and all of them have different colors. So it actually depends. I think he said it was the northern and southern hemispheres of what he did in order to map out the night and daytime cycles for the sun and moon. And then on top of that, I guess your plant or your Cardano tree itself was in like winter mode, it would actually default to the actual Cardano tree. So it actually would recognize, it would overpower, depending on what, take precedence to your actual Cardano tree to make sure the cycle is matched up on there. So that was kind of cool. Again, when we did display NFT on this website right here, it gets to show both of those in one. And I think my 3rd one I did, here's the example of the sun over here. So this is my red moon, which is not red right now, but it's an actual sun. You can go ahead, and I got another plant right here. And again,
the fancy plants look ridiculous. It looks like something from Pandora or something, not like flowers.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to have a Cardano tree to mint this. Is that what my understanding was?
Correct.
Okay.
But
that's what I was saying too.
No, you do. You do.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you to mint this.
To mint,
today,
but you can buy them on the.
You can buy them on secondary.
Cheaper, and you can get yourself a living fancy
plant.
plant.
No, they're not cheaper on the secondary right now because it's only 12 ADA for all 3 of those right now.
Oh,
if you were on there,
you could only buy it unless you had.
No, cheaper than a tree though. I mean, like if you want a living tree, you get a fancy plant that's living on the blockchain. It's like
you can get a fancy plant.
It's like a mini tree. Yeah.
Yeah, you could do a fancy plant over here.
Yeah.
So that's
And
not
they
a
look pretty
problem at all.
wild. I like how they look.
I like the fancy plants.
So the
Yeah.
fancy plants, I like those a lot. But yeah, so we went ahead and this is the first inside of the space itself. Like I love the, the ones that with the moon right there, the moon looks dope. But I love what they're trying to do with these things. Like the possibilities for this stuff is kind of endless with what they want to do. Can you, like, again, you could add, we were talking about adding ornaments, like it's Christmas time right now. We were talking about next year, maybe being able to put stuff on an actual Cardano tree itself. And he was even saying for like maybe the metaverse product, whatever it is, if you want to layer other stuff into other NFTs for like future drops, he's working, like he said, on teaching classes and technology on how to do this kind of stuff. So Damian's super, he's just giving back to this space. It's dope to see.
Very knowledgeable.
It's been 6 months maybe since he said he's been working on it for 3 months prior to them releasing. So that was back in May of this year.
Yeah.
So this progress has already been made. So, that's ridiculous in 7 months. So just big shout out to CardanoTrees. It was an awesome, an opportunity for us to go ahead and talk with them and just learn a little bit more about one of my favorite CNFTs. And again, I think they're, it's extremely underrated right now in this space.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Well, especially the add-ons, because it's something that's different. It's new, with CardanoTrees. I'm sure even Damian and their community just trying to keep up. Like you said, it's been 7 months, but 3 months of that was him working on the project. So 4 months since about the release, you said in August.
Yeah.
So just in those 4 months, how much the space has changed, and them just probably trying to keep up and stay relevant. It's something new though that I like seeing things like that, and something that's creative. And then, like you said, has so many more potential opportunities too once they get it actually working and everything set, so you can do it easily on the website. You can do a whole lot with that.
Oh, dude, there's so much to it, right?
Well, and teaching people, then you can bring the community in, because then that makes me excited, because then we can do our own things and layer them on top and make our own versions of it.
Right. Yeah, I'm all about that. Like the technology that's pushing forward for these guys, because I would love to see like other NFTs be able to interact with each other instead of it just being like a collab where the two of them like interact with each other. Imagine if they like could drop an NFT that combines together to like interact with each other. That would be something that would be super awesome, like super cool to be able to do.
Even just a little rocket, fly across the sky with your tree there or something.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, things like that. Simple things.
We should an F-35 rocket add-on.
Yeah, that'd be easy. Yeah.
That's some probably.
Gotta watch it. He said he's gonna do like live streams on his videos, so we'll have to watch that and learn how to do it.
If he's the one watching this stuff right now, hey, we're always available to go ahead and help out with any kind of testing you need, man. Yeah, man, it was a fun interview. It was truly an honor to getting to talk with him.
Well, I know that was the other thing I wanted to say, that Tommy, I don't think I put it together until afterwards that you kind of mentioned that. And I was like, wow, you're right. That was the one project that really made us look into this seriously. Because before, everything was, your first one was a Charmander holding a Gucci ball. And
Gucci ball.
Somebody thought it was fun because you were learning how to use everything. But it was stuff like that. We were just kind of watching, like, okay, sure, man. And then you had it, and it was kind of like, oh, Tommy has I don't remember what it was, but Tommy has a picture of a tree right now worth X amount of ADA that he spent, the mint price on.
Yeah,
I need to actually pay attention and see what's going on here in this space and get into it. And especially originally, because it was, the Freedom 35 chat. So it's mainly for the financial reasons. And then now seeing all the communities and stuff, but that's what got us into this. All this developed right out of really that first rare tree you pulled.
It kind of comes full circle too, like how crazy and how fast this space moves. Is that here 4 months ago, I'm sitting here buying a Cardano tree, just not even knowing I'm getting 4 months later, fast forward, we're talking to the guy who created them. So it's
awesome.
It's really cool. So big shout out to Damian and CardanoTrees, and especially I'm excited next year, because again, if you're holding a Cardano tree right now, that's another incentive to go ahead. They're going to be making the bonsai collection, which you're going to require a 1-to-1 mint. If you have one Cardano tree, you can mint one bonsai. So definitely make sure, if anybody's still sleeping on these things. I saw the Discord went live today, like 400 plus messages within a few hours. Like people were getting like back into it. Like all the OG people that I've seen throughout the past few months kind of jump back in because CardanoTrees had a new mint. So it was cool to see that community pop back together too. But another thing, which again, I'm super excited for, because now I got these add-ons, and when everything gets ready to go, is the actual nano frames that I'm going to be able to actually watch them on. And going forward. So Nano Frames, which we did a sit down a couple of weeks ago now with Bastion, went ahead and released their pre-sale drop for Christmas right now. So I was able to go ahead on this week and go ahead and actually mint one of these. So they give you the actual NFT itself. You go ahead and select your different size that you want. If you go right to their website, you can pop over to the pre-sale right now going on, and you can actually select whatever size that you want right now. Choose the color from the 3 different options that they have, and then quantity, and it just basically tells you, okay, pay, here's the price.
Play with ADA. I like that a lot.
And it's cool because each day they tell you what the price of it, it's going to be. Like, I know the day that I minted on it, like ADA was the price $1.21 at the time. And then the second day on the pre-sale was like $1.24 because ADA's been kind of popping up and down a little bit back again. So it was dope to kind of see that it's all you do is literally do that. And then they go ahead and send you back, an NFT based on what you have right here. And from here, you had to fill out a Google Doc with, some of your basic like contact information and stuff like that. So they can get, after this pre-sale's over, get you all your shipping stuff kind of set up similar to what Clay Nation and stuff has done with the NFT link on getting those sweaters and different things. So, dude,
it's a cool idea. I like, it's the first thing I've seen. I mean, you've seen the stuff with the links, like you said, the sweater. What was the other one? They had a t-shirt as well.
They had the stickers and other things like that. Yeah.
But this is the first kind of just direct purchase, of the product. Yeah, you get an NFT with it, but it's not really as much about the NFT as it is those other ones, like the t-shirt one they had with the Sweet Fella Clay cards, I think it was. You still got everyone, you got your NFT, and then at the special ones, you just got lucky and got a shirt. It wasn't like you were buying the shirt with the ADA. So that was just like a bonus. This is actually just using your ADA to actually buy like a physical product.
Right. And it's over here and it gets you the NFT too. It's kind of like the commemorative thing for that. And it's dope to be able to do that. And then I'm going to get a physical product. That's just awesome. So Nano Frames right now is in their pre-sale. They're currently, getting stuff right now, trying to get more engagement going on. I think they sold, it was over 100 and something of them on the first day. I think their goal was to get through 1,000 of them in the pre-sale right now, because that's going to grant, like the CardanoTrees has an airdrop. They're planning for that, and a couple other people as well, to kind of showcase off the power of these things. So they're still going on right now, and they're possibly, I think, extending the pre-sale itself right now, because this week, if that is hard, right? Like there's so much stuff dropping this week.
Yeah,
it's very competitive. So it was definitely a tough week to go ahead and do all this, but I think the technology's there and the demand's going to be there. It's just, it needs to get, this week needs to settle down a little bit too.
Oh my gosh, so much stuff happened this week.
Yeah,
not even just NFTs that people are purchasing. I mean, people are spending, traveling,
holiday time and stuff,
buying presents, all that kind of stuff. A lot of money's getting sunk, so pulling their resources.
And two, the funny thing is they're very engaging too on Discord. A lot of their stuff's fun. Bastion and them are going ahead and they created for like all the OG members inside of the Nanos Discords. They have a new role in there called Nano Gs. Nano Gs. So you have the different roles and stuff there. So the Discord's been pretty fun too. So I'd recommend, if anybody's looking to, has all these NFTs and, instead of just watching on a computer on your phone, I would definitely recommend at least looking into the 10.1 inch on this stuff, because it's got touchscreen, it's got a little bit of sound on there, and it's only $200 US on this stuff. So I'm excited to go ahead.
Have you already started, Tommy? Like, have you already started kind of arranging one of your, I know it's in your wallet there, but have you already started kind of getting some of the NFTs you want displayed on it over to that wallet, or at least just probably keeping a list in your mind, right?
Yeah, I got a nice little list that I'm going to go ahead and do. As it gets closer and the actual shipping details go out, I'll start to actually customize and be like, okay, this is the wallet I want to hold and put all this stuff. Because I haven't decided if I want to keep it at the office yet, or if I want to keep it at home, or where. So, or maybe grab another one and we'll get both. So you never know.
Now we're talking. Yeah, that is exciting though. I like doing that kind of stuff though. That's fun. It's like, making a music playlist or something. So we never done it, as much. I guess I have like a slideshow on my computer for like wallpapers and stuff on the backgrounds, but you don't see those as much. It's not the same. I think this will be interesting to see what you pick out for your NFTs.
Yeah, I'm speaking of stuff that I would want to do and pick out is one of the biggest drops that probably went down this past week was EquineNFT. They had one of the most, we talked about it a lot last week, and they had one of the most unique drop styles recently, just due to demand. They said 24-hour mint, it's open to everybody, 250 ADA, you're going to be able to mint a rider or a jockey, a horse, and a skin. You got in that 250 ADA bundle, and as long as we sell at least 5,000 of them, we'll go ahead and close them in after that 24 hours. And not only did they sell their 5,000 gold, they actually went and exceed that to 14,166 of these things. which was insane.
They
That,
crushed my number.
Yeah,
Dude,
I was
I
gonna
know,
say, not just this week, Tommy, not just the biggest
Yeah.
one this week. That's got to be because they're 258 for the whole bundle. So to sell that many, I haven't done the
Yeah.
math. That's got to be one of the biggest. I mean, it's
that's like
definitely the top.
$3.5 million or something like that.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
got to
something
be in
stupid like that.
the top list of biggest projects ever.
Yeah.
Rob.
Dude, I mean, they
not
were
bad.
insane, the success that they have and the quality too. Like we did more depth and read that white paper and what they really have going on. There's so much to this stuff. I mean, it made sense. They have a huge team that is really, vetted inside the community itself. They've done a lot of AMAs. They put themselves out there, and the artwork and stuff speaks for itself. Some of this stuff. So,
Well, have you actually clicked on it like in the pool? Like if you zoom, you can zoom in on.
Oh, yeah.
On the horses and stuff. They look really good. They're
Though
really well done.
I don't know if my pool PM will play. Yeah, it's not playing with me right now on here. But if I click in, so like if I'm here, we are on here. You have all the equine NFTs, which again, this is another website that I was introduced to as I was finding out all this stuff. Was this NFTjam.io.
I don't know this one. What is this?
This is brand new. It's newer to me. They have a bunch of all other products which I really haven't explored. But the reason that I was in here is that you can actually all the horse stats right here. I can filter everything. Like if I want to see my 171 guys like me, here you are. It automatically takes them out and only grabs me the horses.
Total stats. That's how many. Like that's actually a category part of the ranking for the horses. Is how many stats they have is one of the stats itself.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. And so the one.
And they have that many differences too. It goes from 125 to 191. I don't know.
It goes down to 66.
What?
Down
There's
to
only
191.
one at 66 though. There's only one.
I know.
Of them.
He's like the little bastard whore. I saw the guy who did it. Has a 3-speed, like 18 and but yeah, dude,
it's like the horse you let your niece ride. It's like 6 years old. It's like take it around
right.
the circle of the farm.
It's a little donkey, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But dude, yeah, this website is sick, by the way. But back to like equine on here. This is how I started to find out about where everything was. So there's like total horse stats, which are basically for like your racing and stuff like that. You have the speed, agility, stamina, endurance, and acceleration. And they have a total ranking of these things, right? So there's 14,125 of these horses right here. But if you we'll go ahead and not scroll too far down here. I don't know if you guys can see number 58 or number 19 down here, but your boy, you're
that far, close to one.
They were that close. We were that close to one down here. I got lucky as hell.
Endurance.
Dude, the number 19th horse too. I right when that drop happened, right? It's like you had 48 or 24 hours to mint. I was like ready, just instant send. I just wanted. So I was actually able to mint the 19th and 20th horses for my two. I ended up buying 2 of the bundles. But yeah, like TJ was saying, if like if you zoom in on these things, like they look really good.
Scroll in on them. Can you scroll that more now?
Yeah, like look at the detail on some of that stuff. Like it looks really nice. Like even the horse itself,
even the image now is not doing it justice, but it really is a clean looking image in the pool PM for sure.
Well, and see, that looks very good to where if they can port that over to the game, like if this is what their racing game is going to look like, I think they're going to be now seeing this, they're going to be much more ahead than anything else I've seen so far as far as games. Like we've shown that one. You see some of them and it's like, this looks like it's on Dreamcast. Like that's cool. You're making a game and all, and it's a good first step. I know maybe you haven't finished textures and the final rendering, but some of those games just don't look great. And this though looks fantastic.
Oh, it's really
they didn't oh, this is a Philly, right? Yeah, it's
so I got a Philly.
They didn't go like Red Dead Redemption style where you can actually see like the balls on the horse.
I don't have on my horse style. She doesn't have balls, so we're good to go. But dude, so going back to the stats thing, like they're very in depth. Like I was lucky. I'm number 58th ranked, like stat, like just super fortunate to get all that. But again, it goes by all these different things. It gives you the different color, like different patterns for the horse. Like some of them are black, gray, brown, white, like how some of mine are. And then this website again does some amazing job of breaking down all these different stats and like kind of telling you like the ranking of each. And it even gives you like a little breakout of like your horse's stamina and like the whole, it's legit, like the stat like line that it actually gives you. It breaks it out and shows these charts and these graphs.
This is like RPG status. Like this is wild how it's showing. Yeah. I really like that a lot. This is like you're actually making a game build. This looks like a game. It's really cool.
And the crazy thing too is if you scroll down here on this, again, to this Met website, depending on the different stats that you have, it actually gives you the floor price for some of these things right here. The floor price, by the way, of my 171, if anybody wants to buy it right now, is apparently 1.5 million ADA.
Do you have it set for take offers?
I don't have that.
I'm 8 ADA right now.
I do no 8 ADA. Yeah, that's
I'll give you 9.
You
yeah.
for my filly.
No, that looks like game stats. So like, it looks like create a character, or when you're looking at stats in like, you know, NBA
Yes.
2K or FIFA or something like that, or even like RPGs, because it reminds me of like builds and games like a Dark Souls, or even like, you know,
Oh yeah.
MMOs and stuff like that. It looks like when you have like your builds leaning certain ways, you make like a tank build. That's really wild. I didn't realize it broke it down that much. And it's cooler to see when it's visualized on this.
Right. And there's the thing for these two, there's so many different layers and aspects to what Equine can do, because now they open back up the channels inside their Discord, and they have like the Racers Guild. They have different guilds in there. So you have the Racers for people like me who have all these ridiculous stats. They have a Breeders Guild as well for people looking to breed. Like, again, mine's not a colt. So if I had a colt, you know, I could go ahead and people could rent out like my services to go ahead and breed my horse with other females. But the good thing, I guess, for mine is that I could go ahead and rent, you know, one of the top studs too, and I get to keep the baby because I have the female. So I get to have this badass, like you know, new horse that could possibly just wreck both of the parents out there.
Well, I was going to say, so you get like a,
I'll take your
baby.
I'll take your baby. You give your money.
So yeah, you find like a strong colt that has like heavy stamina, and you know what I mean. And I'm curious to see how it's going to work, like how the balance is going to work out, how it's going to like combine traits, because obviously it's not going to keep like, you know, your just OP acceleration and endurance and then toss on some max stamina boost if you find a colt. But to see how to like balance everything out, especially when races actually start going and we see which stats kind of have like the heavier weight to them too, when the races happen.
That all these different things have different like obviously aspects. Like the agility part, I'm seeing like what's the agility versus like the acceleration and all these different things. And like agility is there different track conditions, so depending on how your agility is, they can adapt a little bit to those kind of things. But the big other thing is the actual jockeys themselves, which again, they're not going to show up here because PM doesn't want to work for me right now. But if you go to the actual marketplace here, like back over here, I'll see if I can pull them up since we're here.
While you're looking, Tommy, I know, so up at top right, yep, right side, there you go. Down one.
Yep, I got you.
But yeah, so you have to pay like a stud owner, the colt owner, to breed with it. But I'm curious, like, if there's even ways to like, could that go the other way? Like, could a colt owner want to breed his, and he wants to breed it with yours, so he pays you ADA, but he gets to keep the baby, like, or you have to send him the baby afterwards or something?
There could be, I think there's going to be like marketplaces and deals for those kind of things. I just don't
like
know.
Someone hold the ADA until you send the baby and it's born or whatever, and then they send you the ADA for like getting to breed it. Like they buy your baby essentially, or buy the breed with your filly.
Yeah, I think you could do that. There's probably a smart contract way for that kind of stuff, right? That would make sense to me. I mean, the other aspect of this, which we talked about too, is the actual jockeys themselves. So these jockeys have these different personality traits to them, like brave, steadfast, visionary, determined, tempered. So each of these different things give the horse like a balance in the race, depending on what their personality is. It's like an intrinsic thing that will kind of level them out. Like, you know, if they're behind, they're in the thick of the pack, it helps them. If they have a bad energy, like energy conservation is another one of the ones. And then the other thing is like, if you're really determined, is if like they were in the back of the pack to like what's going to push them forward. So all these guys have like a good balance to play. So I went ahead and picked up a couple of the trainers on the secondary. So I think I have 4 trainers now. And that way I can go ahead and mix and match depending on the track conditions. So I don't know how that's going to work, but for right now, at least there's a layer to the actual jockeys themselves too. Which is kind of cool. And on top of that thing, which again, they're not going to want to show, but each of these jockeys, as you mint them, they have their own theme music too. And the music's actually really good. So as these guys are going out, you guys should take a listen to the actual theme.
I didn't know that.
Cool. Yeah.
But I like that. So that's even to the point where like, if you have a horse that maybe is not the best at accelerating, but you have the jockey that has like the middle of the pack personality or the trait to it, so they can kind of get off to good, you know, or the medium start, but they have a good middle of the pack jockey, and then their speed edges them towards the end, so you can get the finish and win, or at least place or something.
Well, there's going to be like, obviously you're going to need to experiment with it, and there's going to clearly be some people that, you know, are going to probably tend towards the top a little bit and be more desired for certain personality traits. But I mean, it's dope what they got going on. There's definitely layers to this stuff. And even the jockeys, they all have their own little personalities and different music for each of these guys. And all these different guys come with different colors and things like that. So it's definitely fun to see what they've got going on. And then obviously, if you're a big collector and you don't care too much about your horse, but you just the way that it looks, they have the third thing that they bundled out of that. So you had your horse, you had the jockey, and then you had a skin. that came with it. And I unfortunately I didn't get any rare skins with mine. I got a businessman for my actual racer itself, the jockey. It was just a business skin, and then I got an Arabian horse, like, which is the most basic like type of skin right here. But so you can, instead of my like actual like I'm gonna keep my normal pattern on there because I like the way it looks, but some of these you can actually add on and make them look sick on here. And I think you've seen, like, as we've scrolled up earlier, like the demon horses and all those crazy looking ones. There's some cool stuff out here. My computer's not.
Well, that makes a lot more sense. When we saw the demon one last week, and I was like, I didn't realize they had such crazy horses coming out. It makes a lot more sense that they are skins and not the actual horse. And it's cool. It's a cool way to do it, where you can have the game, like the race game, not ruined by this ridiculousness of having Spawn riding on like a devil horse, but you can still also have people making cool ass looking horses just in their, like, you know, private collection.
Yeah, I think that's the cool part about it, is you could race some like sick looking guy and he could suck, he could be good, you just don't know because it is all cosmetic, a lot of the stuff that they do. And again, some of these skins are selling for like ridiculous prices here, like the demon horse. We're just clicking on one of these right now, like 6,666 ADA, which is like $8,000 or something like that. I could never envision, like, say I have the sickest horse, but I'm not going to spend 8,000 ADA on this skin for that. I'm just going to let it ride and let it flex on you because I got a sick stat on there. Like, that's my kind of mentality with this stuff. But I'm sure others have like different things too. Like, but here we are, like, looking in the in-game stuff of this stuff, and these things look sick. Like the different things. So it just depends on, like,
that looks very good.
It's like a WoW character.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm
a red ogre.
That looks like, yeah, like an MMO or something. That looks very good.
Well, they did a really good job on this stuff. So Equine has it was a cool mint. They did a great job. They were really successful, and I don't think anybody was really disappointed in that. Like, the flippers may have been disappointed in it, but even if you were flipping some stuff, like we saw tonight, there was a guy who bought one who had no idea what these stats were yet, and the guy bought it, what, Tom, we said for 178 ADA 2 days ago, and then we just saw that like 167 stat horse just sold for 3,000 ADA.
3,000 ADA.
It's just ridiculous.
And that's, I've been having fun because I didn't do the mint because I thought, okay, I didn't really care about the skin when I understood that, and I know there's not a lot of variation now in the jockeys, so I figured those would be cheap, and I could pick which one I wanted. So I've been just watching and sniping like off a secondary. And watching all the different stats and stuff. It's actually like intense to watch. It's like watching players or something, fancy football, just watching all the horses and the different stats come out. It's been crazy. It's been fun too, seeing the prices bounce around, because right off the bat you could get some decent horses for like 200 ADA. And now if you look, there are, like, the floor is 175 or something like that. But if you look at those 175s, you could own a horse if you're just trying to buy a horse and have one, or you think it's going to increase in value, you want to flip it later, sure, but that's not going to be one that's viable for racing those floor horses. I just don't know, unless there is like just a very bottom division, like they said, where you can kind of like have its own D class or whatever.
Well, that puts into like the layers of the game, right? For the breeding, say that guy is not very fast, there's also DNA built into these horses as they start to train. They said don't count the guys out who would have, like, not the best stats visually yet, because some of those guys are going to catch as they're training and they get older, because as they get older, their stats start to go up as well as they level up, basically. And he goes, some of these guys are going to close that gap real quick. So it's don't rule your horse out just yet, is what they're saying.
Coming
some of this stuff. So you're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
And that's also too, we have so much more, like seeing how the training's actually going to work and how it's implemented, and then what you can do, or how much interaction there's going to be on our end, or is it just something that's going to kind of be automatic that rolls out? I'm very curious how much how deep it goes.
Well, the other deeper thing I was going to say about that is, so say you have a horse that DNA sucks, like as far as racing stats go, and they're just not the best. Some of those guys have really cool markings. They have different things on their body that are super rare though too. So you may not have the best stats, but your horse has like some crazy marking that's like super rare. And somebody I have a gray one, I have a black one, I want to go ahead and breed those and get like a blue one. I don't, something like a bluish type one. There's that kind of property to this too. So you have the breeding aspect, the racing aspect, and just kind of the unknown about what you don't, what we haven't seen yet. So there's so much layers to this game. I'm just hoping that they are able to execute. They made obviously a lot of ADA and a lot of money to go ahead and continue to back it up. I just hope that they keep pushing forward with the same kind of determination, what they got and quality that they have so far.
I'm blown away though. 14,000 or over 14,000 is crazy, because no one really knew it was going to happen, obviously, but people were really upset or like kind of doubting it, like this isn't going to work and it's going to tank and ruin the project? Why are they doing this? And they're like, we want everyone to be able to get one. That's why we're doing 24 hours. We want to make sure
It's
give you plenty of time to get in and get one. There's no congestion or anything like that. And people
It's-
definitely wanted them,
and
clearly.
it's still holding its value too. Like nobody, nobody's complaining about like, oh, the floor price sucks or any of that stuff. That's not a thing for this at all. So
Because everyone's just waiting for the next step. This is just the, entry ticket right now. So everyone's like, hell yeah, let's get the racing going here. No one wants to flip, or I mean, most people
Oh,
bought
yeah.
them say they want to flip, and the ones that did, I mean, good luck, I guess.
yeah, good luck for
Yeah.
right. But yeah, dude. So EquineNFT, like big congrats to them too. They've had an awesome time, and I'm really excited. I've gotten kind of in the racers thing. I had to flex a little bit, right? Like I had a really fun horse, so throwing it in there, just let everybody know, like, hey, I got a good one.
I remember looking at the stats and knowing he was good. That's wild. That's high.
Yeah,
I got a horse, but
58
not
out of
that good.
14,000. I think I'll take that.
I thought my 5.8 of Spoopy at 69 was, my highest
Nice.
ranked
Right.
one so far, and that's out of 14,000.
Hey, we're gonna hold on there. She's my filly.
She might fit it.
Dude, speaking of other quality, like really quality events, I know TJ, me and you are big fans of this. But is the Happy Hoppers Club.
Hopping.
Yeah, what's hopping? Hop in the hop cord, as Eltano would say. Dude, the Happy Hoppers Club is probably, at least I know the artwork, you've all seen it. It's all from Uden. He's been throughout multiple stuff inside the community itself. But if you've been around maybe in the last month, you've been kind of anticipating this drop over here. Everybody kind of knows the artwork, and it's the frogs, right? For the Happy Hoppers Club. And their release was the pre-release was earlier this week. And then today they actually did like the actual public mint, but again, through the whitelist itself. And these guys, TJ, I think this is one of my favorite style of drops that they've done so far.
I like
that's
this
come
too.
out. It was so stress-free.
Even the public mint though too, it kind of helped the fact of not having bots, because you had to whitelist your wallet. You didn't have to be a level 5 or anything for tonight. You just had to whitelist it through their Discord to get it, which I thought was a nice way to, like I said, help avoid bots and just people buying more than one per wallet, which I thought was a good thing.
I didn't realize you had to do that just for the regular drop too. That's smart.
Yeah.
I hope that worked. That sounds like it could be a solution.
Dude, the demand, it was so nice. Like, so the pre-sale, like everybody had, you had to level up to get to the hopper roll. You had to be a hopper in order to get into the pre-sale for this stuff, which is the level 5 inside the Discord. So that's when we talked about weeks ago, like leveling up in the Discord and like the timer and everything. It was fun. So we got to do that, and you whitelisted your address, and you had, I forget the window during the pre-sale was a little bit shorter, but you had a set number of hours to go ahead and actually mint your stuff. And as long as you were in the whitelist and the time period, you were guaranteed to get one. So I know in the pre-sale, the first day, like everybody, the blockchain was already kind of under load. And like, as soon as they were like, guys, take your time, don't worry about it. Like, and as soon as the thing dropped, it was just, everybody spammed it and like clogged it up. And it took a few hours to go ahead and get everybody's stuff. But
whenever I was talking with you, and I was like, I can wait, but I want it now. Like 4 or 5 minutes after.
Everybody wanted it. So I watched today. So we ended up getting a hopper out there. I know I got one. TJ, you got one as well. And the fun thing about these hoppers, this was the first one that I went ahead and actually had. This is the Christmas version.
I was going to say, wait, yeah, that's not right.
That was the Christmas version of my guy. This was actually the first one that I had right here. And he nothing special too, but he was actually clean. I actually really like the artwork on this stuff. So he was, just a normal hopper, and I was like, okay, I can't buy more. I've got my one whitelist in. Let's now go back to token and pool.pm and just kind of watch and see what everybody started to get. And I started to get FOMO again, because I was like, I want more. I want a better one. I want a better one.
I still want a better one.
And so I ended up going on CNFT tools, and I actually ended up snagging a better one on here. Just because I was like, I really wanted one of the patchwork ones. I thought that like the stitched up look was really cool. Yeah, and then I know the plushies too that they hold on these things, or something going on with those. But you can see like the glasses frog plushie, which actually looks like Uden's actual like artwork and his design itself that they're holding. So I ended up buying one off the secondary too, which he was a higher rank at the time as well. So I ended up grabbing those two, and then Uden himself was like, hey guys, message me on the side if you want to go ahead and get a little holiday surprise. And that's what you guys just saw. It was like boom, and he just went ahead for free and drew this stuff for both of the hoppers as long as you messaged them. And again, boom, right, one of those right there. He's made a little holiday version of them, which is really cool.
Yeah, and some antlers and some Christmas lights, and I like that a lot.
He's got the little red-nosed reindeer kind
I
of
like
deal
what
on
they
that as
did,
well.
or he did with the hats or the helmets, I guess, because they're not hats. Like the other one you have is a spaceman, the spaceman guy, and that one has a knight's helmet on. But instead of having to cover the full head, making him an astronaut, it's just kind of like really small, off the side
like
of his
Hey
head.
Arnold style,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like center of the head.
Exactly like Hey Arnold. That's exactly what I was thinking of with the knight's helmet.
Yep. Yeah, and then tonight, actually it's Wednesday, so they said, okay, we're gonna go ahead and open up the public sale now, and it was the same thing. Go ahead and whitelist your address into the thing, and as long as I think there are 7,000 of them left because there's 11,000 of these things. There's 7,000 of them left, and I think there was over 5,000 per whitelist going on. And after that, so everybody was guaranteed to get it in. TJ, I know you said it. You got yours in, I got mine. And then after that, everybody, same thing. I was in the Discord tonight, and it was funny as hell because Eltano's in there. He's the police hopper, and he's got his thing, just ripping in caps lock everybody. Some people have no idea who he is, and they're like, "What the hell's going on? Why are you yelling?" All this stuff, and he's just trolling them, like adding crowns on everything. There was one guy he was going back and forth with, like calling him like a clown. He's like, "Bro," he goes. He had like a Makasi picture and he was just ripping on him. So it was fun. And so yeah, again, Eltano goes, all right, guys, when the 6, whatever the time clock goes down, he goes, all right, everybody mint as fast as you can. Make sure we break the thing. Like he was like, doing exactly what they told him not to do. He's like, all right, make sure you send it in right now so it breaks the thing. And they ended up coming out pretty quick. So I ended up getting a little watermelon one as well for the third one. Not the best one.
I don't think the wings one hasn't been minted yet.
I don't think so either. I haven't seen it, but you never know what's going to happen with those. So yeah. I think they got the Swanky Swimmers, the gold ones that they had. Those you're able to burn those for a pair of wings. So I don't know if that's the only way to get wings.
Really?
So I don't know if that's going to be the only way they're going to do that.
That'd be cool. That's a cool idea.
If that is the case. Yeah, I like what they got going on for that kind of stuff, but it was definitely interesting what they ended up doing. And I just like to me, the artwork's clean. It's another profile picture kind of drop. And if anything, they're pretty much like a direct competitor, I'd say, to Yummi when it comes to like the art style and the profile pic kind of thing.
Well, I like them too, because I think there's more to them than just the profile pictures. I really think that just obviously, keeping us waiting to see what's going to happen next year.
Well, they got like the Lake Cardano, they got like the white map, like the road map itself is basically there's going to be like some war at the lake. It's something for like Lake Cardano, and I don't know if it's going to be a game or what it's going to be yet, because they haven't really fully released like the full plan for them. I just know that the artwork, I like it. I'm a big fan of it, but I just wanted to shout out that drop style that they did, because it was super like chill. Like it was nice to not have to, because we knew there was high demand for these things, but it wasn't nearly as stressful. As long as you got in on that whitelist, you were good to go.
Well, I just like that it gave more people a chance to get it, because it said if you whitelist, you're guaranteed you're getting one.
Yep.
Like if your wallet is whitelisted, you're getting one.
Yep. And not even that. Nice. And not even that too. Like even you're guaranteed to get one. But on top of that, it was just like such a stress-free like experience for having to do that.
Well, even to be honest with you, like I feel like if this was an open mint, it would have sold out instantly. I think it would have been an instant sellout within an hour, and that would have been it. But there would have been wallets that had multiples in one sitting.
And that's what you see in a lot of these projects, that it's ran by like, just like a few, it's a very high percentage of people who own most of the stuff here. That's the only way these whales that really can, want to have a bunch of these things, they're buying on secondary. So I like how it spreads the wallet, to the people who actually want it, and everybody can pretty much get one. So that was a cool thing. And then on top of that, I think they had a few hundred, or maybe a few thousand, whatever it is, left over. So they're going to do a round 2 for the whitelist, and it's going to be randomized. So you're going to be able to check tomorrow on that Thursday and see if your stuff was actually, if you got a chance to get into the whitelist round 2. So if you get into the whitelist round 2, guaranteed to be mint another one for 42 ADA for these things. So, and then on top of that, they have some cool like one of ones out there for the happy hoppers themselves. I know when I was over here, I don't have it pulled up directly on here, but I'll go ahead and pull it while we're here, because like there were some cool looking ones for these things, and I was very TJ, I know we were
the Pikachu one was dope.
Dude, the Pikachu one was amazing on that stuff. Where are my happy hoppers for there? Come on, the Pikachu, yeah, right here. This one looks sick right here, right? But they had like, these are the 2 one of ones that minted, the Hopzilla and the Alien. And all these other ones right here, one-on-ones are for the team itself. They were all created for these guys. And then obviously it starts down like the box head and all the different ranks, like the diamond ones and the golds and they have money bags and all these little robot helmet guys. So I mean, the artwork to me, again, it's fun. It's something cool.
No,
that
that's really good.
They do actually have spacemen like astronaut helmets in too. That's cool. So it's different from yours. Yours is a space helmet, and they actually have like the top. I saw there's a full size astronaut helmet there.
And they have the whale ones is great to me. I like the whales. They're sitting on top of their head. There's
the Naru, like narwhal spike on the right side there. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you look at these bright ass screens at nighttime?
Dude, I just
put the dark mode on, bro.
Just leave me alone, dude.
Top right, dude. You're blinding everybody.
Lady, you're scaring us. Oh god, it's so much nicer.
Oh my god, my eyes.
But yeah, no, these are fun, man. I like what the Happy Hoppers have. So big shout out to their team, and obviously they're going to sell out here on the next round for these things. So
well, I hope to see other projects or artists use that mint stock, because I really liked it. I thought, like you said, it was stress free. It avoids the bots, avoids the whales, just buying a ton of them at one sitting because they're sitting on their computer or whatever the reason is that they get so many. I don't know. It was very stress free for me. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of what they got going on over there. So a big shout out to Udin and the team. It was another big successful drop. And just so much going on this week. You had Equine, you have Happy Hoppers, you had the CardanoTrees coming through, all these quality things. And then out of nowhere over here, you get a brand new project that, I've heard about the marketplace. You guys, I don't know if you guys remember hearing about an X NFT. It was a marketplace that was supposed to be coming out way back, back on like the Artifact days. Remember when we were talking to him? They rebranded their name from X NFT to Artifact. And then from there, it was supposed to be a marketplace. And that's all I knew of them. I didn't really know anything else. And then all of a sudden this past week, here we are, and I'm looking at like I get to see a Twitter notification go off, and it's like Artifact spaces are dropping. And it's like this metaverse. And I'm like, what the hell is that? So I go to their page and I'm looking down, and it's like, all right, well, we have a metaverse. It's like welcome to space kind of thing. The moon is the first location for these guys. They're building their own metaverse on the moon, and they're taking the actual coordinates of the moon itself. And they're actually basing it on real data, like the far side and near side of the moon. There's different rarity charts for these things, like far side, near side, landing sites, like actual landing sites where they were on the moon. And they have this one of one plot for the actual monolith itself, which actually sold for 25,000 ADA on the secondary market already.
That doesn't surprise me though. That's awesome. I didn't know they had a monolith. That's amazing. That's so cool.
So it's crazy what this thing has, and it came out of nowhere. I just saw it really was just all of a sudden, by the way, here's a moon pre-sale metaverse. Go ahead and whitelist yourself inside of our Discord. The first, 5,000 members or whatever. I think they ended up whitelisting 2477 of them. So pretty much you had me and you, TJ, got into it, and you had commit. You were guaranteed to mint 2 of them in there, and there were 52 ADA. You could send it, 52 one transaction at a time, or send it for 104 or whatever it was, and you got back these plots. And again, the one guy who got the monolith, too, congrats to that guy. That's amazing sell for this week. But again, it's a metaverse that's so I don't know they're what their plan is with this, other than I know they've got coordinates. They're getting ready to release their map, and I'm not sure what is going to be done inside of here. All I know is you're in space.
So I didn't do a lot of research. We just saw Artifact, and it was like, I'm on board. All right.
Well, I joined the Discord.
I knew they had
I saw people in there talking, so I was very intrigued, or curious.
The art's cool too, though. I do like the art. So far, even the ones. I mean, I know we said it. I forget the name of it. Danoverse. Which one was the one that?
Yeah, that was Danoverse.
But so far, most of I just like the art style of a lot of the metaverse projects. Even though most of them, they got a lot of work cut out for them. They got cool ideas. They got all their work ahead of them. I wish them the best of luck. But I do like some of the art for a lot of these. And that's cool that they're tying this to the actual coordinates, which makes sense. It's almost like when you buy a star, like, hey, I bought you a square foot of.
But this seems more legit like that, though. Like, I bought a piece of the moon for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I forget the amount of acres, or they have it on the website or whatever it is. It's 5,000 unique pieces of the moon generated with real lunar surface data, with near and far plots, 24 landing sites, and 1 monolith. You have access to an exclusive virtual gallery space with an artifact space to go live. They also looks like they're, there's only 5,000 of the moon ones, and that says they're toting Mars is another thing, as well
They're
as
gonna have Arrakis? Oh
Arrakis.
wow, I'm gonna get in on this. All right.
So they got some cool
That's
stuff in the
awesome.
work.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I don't know what the hell's Arrakis. I don't even know what that
It's
is.
from
Oh,
Dune.
It's what?
Oh, it's from Dune, the movie.
Yeah,
I've never
Oh, okay, I got you. See, okay, now I'm way more invested in this thing now.
Oh my God. And
dude,
when's the public sale you said coming out here?
so tomorrow, so they had 5,000 of these things to sell on last. This was at 6:41 p.m. on the Tuesday night. Is it Tuesday or is it Wednesday night? I'm sorry. So tomorrow at 4 p.m. UTC, they're going to go ahead and release the last like 555 of these things to the public. And that's going to go like that. So it's 52 ADA to mint those things, but get your data list is ready. It's going to be a quick one out there to finish this thing out. But I know obviously the floor for these things have gone crazy already. They started at 52 ADA, TJ. I think we bought it yesterday, and here we are today with these
200
things.
now, over 200.
Over 200 ADA already for these things.
And there's 4,000.
There's 4,000, about 45-ish, 100,
Okay.
some, yeah, a little over 4,000 maybe right now.
Does it have information? How big is like each plot supposed to be?
So
like how
they represent 1.8 million acres of Artifact Moon. So 5,000 of the plots take up 1.8 million acres. I don't know.
I'll have to do the math on that to figure out how big each one is. I was just curious how zoomed in it is. Like, can you get the plot of land that has the American flag on it?
Right. That would be wild.
That'd be cool, you know what I mean? But I don't know if it's that zoomed in. It's probably too, you wouldn't even be able to see it. It's probably so far out.
I've seen some of their stuff. Like there's the community that's built behind this guy. This guy's Sir Cardiated, who bought it for 25,000. But the community already is crazy. Like I went in the Discord and they're like, let's go. It was like everybody was getting hyped about this stuff. And it's like, I don't even know what the hell's going on yet. I'm just like kind of playing in there. I'm like, dude, I got a couple. I'm gonna talk about it on the podcast. Everybody's like, let's fucking go. Like they're starting to like go crazy in there. So it was fun to the people that were built in there.
The project.
And I'm definitely, the community itself seems fun so far. So I'll definitely make sure to link it this week with these guys and be able to interact, because TJ, who knows, we're not neighbors, but we're on that far side of the moon. We're on that dark side
of the moon, baby. Let's go.
You guys both got far side plots?
Yeah,
correct. Yeah, me and TJ
cool.
both got the far side.
And I mean, are all the pictures similar? Like if you have the far side, or they actually change up like how they actually look?
I think they're all different, but they're all like, so the far side's like grayish, that gray and black looking.
And the others have the more color because you'll get hit with the sun. So it goes, yes, if you receive a piece that has color, you'll be able to look up in the night sky and see your plot with a telescope. So you can actually look at the coordinate or whatever.
Okay, and it's like the actual surface map. Like, I mean, that makes sense. They have 3D maps of the surface of the moon and stuff like that. So they could just recreate those in this 3D version and sell it as an NFT and mint. That makes perfect sense that you'd be able to see that. I want Arrakis, man. The spice must flow. I'm all about it.
Yeah,
that's so cool. I mean, Mars would be cool too, but who cares? What's there? Let's go get let's go fight some sandworms.
Who cares? What's there?
What's there? Yeah,
that's actually
frozen water.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize. Yeah, here's the interactive map that's coming soon. So it's got it.
Oh, so you're gonna have a map like a PAVIA type thing where you can actually go around and plant your own flag. That's pretty cool.
So one of the things that was wild to me today, as we were like looking about this, is that if we were I was on PAVIA, which we'll talk about here in a sec. They went ahead and actually tweeted about this stuff too. They go one moon, and I was like, got me thinking about this shit. It's like, okay, there's a landing space on the actual PAVIA map. There's like a natural landing like pad. Can you, and with a spaceship on that thing, can you imagine that spaceship going up and reaching up to your portal that takes you directly into your right here into this metaverse over here in space?
Well, especially if they're going to have, then Mars and Arrakis like be able to travel from the moon to Mars. From your plot to your plot. And then now I'm just playing No Man's Sky or Elite Dangerous, or what's the other one? Yeah, exactly. And then just exploring planets. That'd be awesome.
So that's actually wild to me. I'm Artifact the Moon right now.
That'd be a perfect combo too. I mean, obviously PAVIA is a land, but you make it.
Well, the other thing behind them too is that these guys are a marketplace too. They've been quietly built. I don't know. They've been, they did their big announcement earlier. These guys were back in August. I remember them like early on, but I haven't really heard too much from them since. So it sounds to me like they're taking their time to do it right. So when they launch, everything's all ready to go. So, and besides the actual spaces themselves for the metaverse, they do have their own marketplace as well, the Artifact.app. So that's going to be interesting once they actually drop. I haven't actually heard data or any kind of release date yet for them. So shout out to this Artifact. I'll definitely be keeping an eye on. I know TJ, we own some space.
Rosen's
Oh,
making
out there.
I'll be a space owner tomorrow. Don't worry.
Yeah. You should definitely jump in and grab one of these
Snag
things
it.
before it gets too crazy over here. But speaking of these metaverses, right? Like TJ, I know we were talking about it last time we were doing this. It's our favorite thing to always get an update because it seems like stuff gets so crazy with them is PAVIA. Like they went ahead and dropped this like teaser trailer a few days ago. Just kind of interacting what the real world's going to kind of be like and what they envision like PAVIA to be as it, as it starts to develop over here. But it's wild to like this video itself as we're watching it, like they go home, they jump in with their VR headsets, they jump into PAVIA, they're using the Ready Player Me like avatars that are being created right now to go in, play, do whatever they're doing. And it still reminds me of like, the older video games. Like it's not
Like Second Life or
it
something.
looks cleaner though, at least in this trailer.
It's looking
than
a
the
little bit
last
better
time.
than it did. 100%.
Yeah.
They're getting there. Yeah. So it probably is just early days is all it is.
And so these guys you see in the background there, they have like the Charles Hoskinson in one of his videos up there. Like that's kind of reminds me of this Cardano Summit where you can actually watch videos and live streams and stuff. So you're in the metaverse, you're watching stuff, and then again you get notifications. So I don't know how this is going to work and play out as this video rolls on. You can
I've seen Black Mirror. This is going to go terrible.
Oh my god, I've seen episode 2.
It's going to go awful. I can't. Yeah.
Well, there's your NFT. They have an NFT gallery in here. They have like you can see Cardano kids and stuff of that. Like so, there's obviously a place to go ahead and look up all these NFTs. And I'm sure this was one of the things that was really interesting to me. They go to this coffee shop that's in here, right? And it's like delivery. And do we want digital or in real life? And they select the option real life. And all of a sudden, this guy gets a knock on his door and he gets coffee delivered to his thing. It's like, are they going to be partnering with like Uber or like Starbucks and all these different things?
So
like
sick.
Is this where this thing's going right now?
Well, I was even seeing beyond shopping, like let's say if
and there's one of the portals too to end it. Yeah.
Avatar that's just like a
boom, they go to
created character. Yeah, that's where it's at though. Oh no, I want to get on the rocket ship and fly up. I want to take off. Yeah, Xenon style.
Goes to Decentraland.
Yeah. Or Sandbox.
They were talking about like even just clothing sales and stuff. If you can have an avatar that's not just built in game like the Sims create a character where they do like some sort of scan of yourself and you kind of have your own measurements and lengths and things like that in there. You could go to like clothing stores and they would have like the clothes, and if they can do it correctly to where your avatar tries clothes on, you like how it looks and you buy it and they send it to you.
No, I don't want to do that. I want to be like Ready Player One, like a Parzival or the Parzival's friend, where he's like a big old robot just walking.
Oh, any of that kind of stuff. I'm just saying. I'm saying in real life, like you would try clothes on there to see, and then never leave your house, of course.
Oh, that's true. You can do that too.
And then you can like instead of going to the mall, you would just go to the PAVIA mall. You'd like go to the store, try the clothes on there. If you like it, you would order it, and then it'd send it to you.
That's insane, dude. Well,
and they were talking about how far away that is, because obviously there's a lot in between of like knowing how well it feels and fits. But when they can get that stuff integrated and it works, like,
dude, also in the house. I know they're moving. Whatever they're doing, they're moving fast. Like every time I look at PAVIA, now they're up to 33,000 followers, and every time like they drop these new trailers, there's all this new moves. Like yesterday was the Wind Moon thing, so they were teasing, the actual artifact stuff as well. They're ridiculous amount of impressions that are going on. But one of the things that really got me like interested as well was this right here, which TJ you had sent. It was PAVIA, for Coinbase. It was thank you for your application. So if we needed to catch up, so they did the snapshot holders or snapshot for their token PAVIA, and it was that past Friday, and they dropped 8,333 tokens to each individual plot owner. So if you had an estate for all 9 of them, you got 9 times 8, whatever that was, like 70-something thousand of these things. So I ended up actually selling out of my estate on my stuff because I needed to get a little more. There was too much going on this month. I needed some stuff. But I did buy back in. So I bought back in on three different lands, and I was able to get, I think, like about 25,000 of these things. This kind of segued me into a different conversation. It was like, well, what are these even worth? Like, are they worth $0? Like, are they going to be like Sandbox and like the Sand token? Or are they going to be like Decentraland's Mana token, where those are like $3 to like $5 or whatever they are? Because I was like, I got 25,000 of these things. Like that thing goes to $3 or $5. Hell yeah! Like that's automatically.
Hey, for sure.
Now we're hanging out and like making some money. So
we're talking.
So what one of the big things that I don't know if most people know is like Cardano's starting to get these dexes that are starting to develop. Like Sunday Swap is probably the biggest one that everybody pretty much knows right now. But we went and actually I told you guys about this was this ADA.MuesliSwap, MUESLI swap. And we went to the website over here, and it's like an early version of like the Cardano DEX. So I don't know if they have a non-light mode, TJ. I'm sorry, it's a little bright over here.
Damn, it's 5 cents now.
So if you look at this, though, you can actually connect in the very top hand right of this. I don't know if I'm pulling it up or not, but you can connect your Nami wallet to this stuff, like the same way you would for MetaMask. And you go over here to like, the swap or the launchpad for these different things. And there's the market for all these different tokens right now. They have DeFi tokens and meme tokens, like our favorite, like Hosky token is wrapped in here. So you can actually buy Hosky here, and it's actually got a value to it. It's a lot, not very much, but it's there. But PAVIA is now on. It's the only one. They're not on Sunday Swap yet, but PAVIA's tokens on here. And when you look inside of there, this thing is now worth valuing around like almost at 6 cents already.
It was at 2 cents last night when we were having this conversation. That's crazy to me.
And it's already up to 6, all these different things. So you can see here that you can see these people are willing, selling it at certain different prices. So it's not, and there's buy tokens over here on the right. So it's not a perfect DEX yet, but it's doable. So I actually tried this. I bought 1,000 extra of these things on the secondary just to try it out, and it works. I connected to my Nami. I clicked the buy button here, and it asked me to sign the transaction. I signed it. Order was fulfilled, and the PAVIA tokens went straight into my wallet here, which you can see. I got an extra 1,000 of them right here. And
we actually should go back. It's not worth 5 cents. Actually worth like 5
ADA.
Sorry. Yeah, we did it last night,
which is actually more than 5 cents.
It's more, exactly.
If you do the math on that stuff, right? Like what's ADA sitting at today? I think it's like $1.30 something, right?
Something like that, yeah.
So if we're at 0.59 ADA, times 1.3, that's actually 7 cents, 7.6 cents right there.
Yeah.
And you do the math on that. So like, what am I rocking like now? Like 26,000 of these things, $2,000. Like right there, like if I got $2,000 for like on top of my actual PAVIA land
having
value.
the NFTs too
for
free, and this is the first time for me that I've ever gotten anything out of zero. I've been at when it was zero, like the inception of the coin itself.
I'm so pissed I didn't buy a PAVIA when I don't.
So I was telling you guys about this shit for a while, but I mean,
but I can't get
still early though. Right now, it's still early.
I'm getting on the next release though.
But I just wanted to point this out. So that most people don't not know about this stuff, but it is. If you got a Nami wallet, you can really literally connect to this ada.MuesliSwap.com, and you can go over here and buy all this stuff. You can buy Hosky, you can buy all these different coins and stuff like that. But PAVIA right now, dude, they seem to be pushing forward at a very, very like aggressive pace right now, and I love it. Literally, there was an article for the Ready Player Me, which is how they're creating their avatar, which is on BBC News for some of this stuff. So
for them.
They're obviously, and on top of that too, didn't we see that they actually released their map? It got bigger from the last time, TJ, we had talked about this.
Yes. Well, I think they're having one more release, aren't they?
Yes. So they are. But they finally released the rest of the map over here, which is supposed to be in Q1. They're supposed to be announcing when the final land sale is, which would be 40,000 more plots. So you can obviously see right here, where everything is, but it looks like they've added a couple more portals over here on the bottom and left. And there's something right here, which I don't know what it is, over on the right-hand side. It's like almost like a reverse L. That is something out there, which they don't have it marked.
When you go to buy those, can you, like, how do you get an estate?
It's random. No, so the estate, I don't know how they're going to do the estate sales for the next one, but what it was for this one was that you could buy up to 30 plots for this. It was 45 ADA the second go around, and you could send up to whatever 30 times 45 was. I think it was like 1350 ADA. So what I did was I sent 405 ADA at the time. That was for 9 of them, and you had a 1 in 3 chance of actually getting the estate. So I got the estate. I was lucky.
Oh wow!
I got lucky out of that. So otherwise, you were getting 9 random spots throughout the map. And if you got lucky, you got the estates. That's what you see, all the little pictures on the map. That's what that estate is right there. So people who had the estate, they had 9 times 8,333 tokens dropped to them.
Oh my God.
So what if it's seeming to me that these metaverses are paying off, and I think that's why you see that the Artifacts Moon Metaverse really going off the way that it is, because they're starting to see what PAVIA is doing. And I know there's even more metaverses that are starting to drop. Literally, as we started this recording, there was Cardania that does their Terraform job, which I have one of their founders cards. They're dropping stuff, right? Everybody's dropping the metaverse stuff. So it's just going to be about the matter of which one comes out on top going into next year. It seems to me like PAVIA is the front runner, obviously, for Cardano right now.
Oh, definitely. What they're doing, how far along they are, and what they've actually shown, like the work done, they've shown like the most proof of work.
I highly enjoy what they got going on. And I love the aggressive. So they're by quarter four of 2022, they're supposed to be testing the portals. And the first live event is supposed to be in quarter three of 2022 inside of PAVIA itself. So you guys got some time. And again, being at the end of 2021, I think Metaverse is going to be the huge thing. Facebook rebranded to Meta. Like that's literally where this is all going right now. So it's just about finding the one with the most potential. Like I was always saying, like, I want to go ahead and invest in like Metaverse coins going into next year. Well, this one is, this is definitely not financial advice. This could completely tank, but in my head, this has like a ridiculous amount of return potential versus for the bang for your buck right now. So, and it's early. The fact that you can barely get it on a DEX right now, it's not even on regular stuff is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact if they get on Coinbase though, that'll be huge.
Maybe on like a Coinbase Pro, maybe, I don't know. Like who knows? But it's definitely interesting to see what they got going on. And again, if you missed out on the first two sales, there is a final sale of that 40,000.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to drop tokens like that for the third sale.
I don't think they are doing airdrops for the next ones. I don't think they said they were going to do that. That was only for people being in early. That was like the reward. But it's crazy to see the progress, and I definitely had to shout them out too. For this metaverse land. It was wild.
That's another big drop. I mean, 60,000 they had, or 31,000.
There was 31,000 for the second sale.
That's wild.
Yeah.
How fast that went.
I'm upset I was in the mountains with no internet service.
I'm really curious if Equine had like a limited I guess not limited if they didn't limit the time, but they limited it to like, let's say they had 15,000 or 10,000. Say if they actually did a 10,000 drop, how fast they would have been able to push those out. If people knew they didn't have all day too, like they had to be there for it. I wonder how quickly those would have gone. Because the demand was definitely there for 14,000 sales. That's crazy.
It just depends on like the wallet number holders. That's why I like the Happy Hoppers Club for what they did, is because they spread out the wallets. Like it allowed everybody to kind of be more balanced instead of like a few people like the whales that are just holding on to the majority of the assets. Yeah. So that was kind of cool. And then, this past week for us, we've been, big drops continuing to go on, but the Christmas theme for stuff was one of our favorite ones is Yummi Universe. They actually had their burn that happened this week, which is one of the probably few, I guess, community ideas like that has actually pulled through and was very successful. And it was
we've been talking about it a lot, right? That was the original idea that came from the community, and then they actually finally confirmed it. Where they said, this is what we're going to move forward with.
Well, not even that, like it was such a weird, like nobody, I don't think anybody really realized, like, is this going to work? Like, how's this going to go? It was sounding good in theory of like being able to burn your Spoopy and like sending ADA in, and you were going to get this new one, but it was like, how is that actually going to work? So they went ahead and actually implemented that this week. And the way they pretty much told everybody, you cannot have a Yoroi wallet for doing this thing. Like Yoroi right now is not there as far as allowing you to send ADA and send an individual asset at the same time. So everybody had to either restore their stuff to, like they were saying, like CC Vault was one of the ones, or basically restoring your ROI to a data list or something like that. So you could use, basically everybody, I use NAMI because that's one of the easiest ones. Use that. You could use CC Vault. You could have used data lists on some of this stuff. And the way the mint worked was they took a snapshot of all the holders for the 10K Narus. And based on that, you could the day later, you could check your address, and it would tell you how many Spoopies or Winter Narus you were able to mint on that stuff. And then from there, they dropped an address on launch day, and you had to send in 25 ADA and then one of your Spoopies at the same time. And if you send it correctly, you got back a Winter Naru. And then obviously, TJ, I know, me and you went ahead and did that for our things right there. Tom, I think you chose to opt out.
I keep keeping my Spoopy for now. Yeah, hold on.
So, I mean, dude, these things, all of them look really, they're all winterized. Like, it's just the Narus in general. Like, they all look sick. One of my favorite ones, I don't know if I can slow it down enough to actually hit it on there. But was the Sub-Zero one. Did you guys see that? You saw him right there. Yeah.
The crown. Yeah, like the
ice guy. Yeah.
Ice King or whatever it is. Makes you think of Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Right.
The Night King. Yeah.
The Night King. Yeah. Similar crown.
And this guy has a Sub-Zero bodysuit on. Like, that was dope. Cool. But yeah, so they dropped all these different things, and I don't know. For me, when that launched, they had 5,000 of these things that were able to be burned. And I don't know that were, I don't know how many were passed right now on these things. I think they were, last I had looked, we were pushing 2,000 of them.
Just under 2,000. It was like 1,900 and some change.
Yeah. So they're getting there. I don't know if they're going to open it up to the public or they're going to forever just say, they're done with them, and that is what it is. I'm really curious about that, because
I think I read somewhere they're just going to do it until they hit the 5,000. Like,
really,
yeah, I think I read that somewhere. I could be wrong though, but I thought I read that somewhere.
I didn't see that yet. So maybe unless they announce something new. But it's crazy to me. That I don't know. Like, these things all look sick, right? Like it's wild to me that they, you can burn these things, and actually, like, there's like the furnace is what they have going on. I keep seeing it in the Discord. It's like you can see like the wallet that has all the old spoopies. We were talking about it beforehand, and it's like you could go almost like shopping inside of there and be like, damn, there's the one I really want. But
so I was like, I want to
he's
reach
locked
out.
away.
Hey, can I get that one back, please? I'm like, oh, it looks really cool.
He's like, he's in the furnace, dude. You can't get him. He's burnt. Like, he's gone right now. So it was, I don't know, man. Tom, I know you chose to opt out. Like, you have too nice of a one. You didn't want to get rid of him, right?
Yeah, I only have the one because I had sold the second one I had got right off the bat when the floor was really high on Spoopy and kind of collectible ADA. So I just didn't want to burn my guy, and I also kept taking it so literally, even though I know it's just a wallet you send to, but of course, like, none of the rarities or anything got adjusted because all those NFTs still exist. They're just in a wallet now that is controlled by the Yummi Universe team or whatever. But yeah, I like the Christmas ones a lot too. I've been looking on the secondary now that they've been minted. I've been like messing around with the hat. Like, I really wanted a Santa hat and Santa clothes, but there's only 2 of them so far.
Yeah, I saw that one of them sold for like 500 ADA.
Yeah, they were really up. They are really up there too. So like there's not a lot of combinations right now that I wanted, but I do like the art or the attributes that came out for Christmas.
Yeah,
I know we were talking earlier too, Tom. We were like, I know the mindset, like, it's obviously not getting burned or whatever. We were like, we thought for some reason, like, because you asked the question, can you destroy an NFT? Because that was in my mind, like, okay, they're getting, for lack of better terms, destroyed. You won't even be able to see them anymore, not even in a wallet. I just couldn't wrap my mind around the burning process of just chilling in a wallet somewhere.
I don't know if you could delete something off the blockchain.
That's what I was saying though. We were asking and talking about it earlier. Like, can you delete an NFT?
As someone that does dev work would have to let me know. I also you mentioned your Roy wallet that you couldn't use it. Just imagine if they didn't have the mobile application, or if anyone comes out with their mobile side, your Roy's going to be gone. Like, the only reason people even have it now is because you can use it on your phone.
100%. That's the only reason.
If they did not have
wallet,
the phone, if they didn't have a phone version, like if just no one had a phone app, I guess, and everyone was on the PC, no one would be using your Roy on their desktop or laptop.
Yeah, obviously Roy was not looking at the NFT market. I didn't realize that it was going to be as hot as it was. So they are definitely playing catch up, and there's others out there who are starting to surpass them. Like, Nami pretty much is taking over for the most part. So if they're able to
get that mobile app.
Yeah, I finally got Nami, and I really like it, honestly.
And Roy's good. Like, the delegation and stuff like that is really nice. They've built out a lot of the features. It's just not meant for the NFTs. They're just not there for that stuff. So, but yeah, so pretty much people had to make it a little bit of an adjustment, but it was a 48-hour mint, and I was worried about rushing to get it done. And
I thought I was gonna be sold instantly, honestly.
Same.
You guys were right there at drop time, right?
Right at drop time.
I left work for that. I came home just the middle of the day to do it.
It was crazy, man. It was definitely a wild mint time. I'll tell you that. It just shows you how busy this week is, though, too, because like they're a top drop like that in the fact. I mean, and it's different though, right? Like, a lot of those people say somebody who did have your Roy and they had no idea how to make restore their wallet into another thing. There's like, well, I'm not burning it. I'll just keep my spoopies for this week. I'll catch you guys in the next one, kind of thing. There's so many different options that could have been out there for these guys. But anyway, I just think that drop style was really cool, and it worked
well. It was cool that it worked well. It was successful. Now that we're past it and seeing how well it worked for you guys, and I mean, you were there just because you wanted to be there at the drop, and you're excited to get, I think, your Christmas Narus. But yeah, you had plenty of time to get in there and get one too.
It was a good time. Like, I think that's a big thing of what these drops are doing now, is they're actually like allowing people to not stress as much. Some of the bigger ones, they're giving you like that whitelist option, the wallet, connect your wallet thing prior to it, so you can almost guarantee your stuff a spot. And I think that's probably like the method most people want to go to, because like, even on like the east side, you always hear about gas wars and things like that. Over here, it's either just the blockchain gets clogged because everybody's just shooting into an address at one time and hoping that they get it. So doing it this method makes stuff so much easier. So
I think
like
the whitelist method is the way to go for the future. Honestly, I like that. That's my favorite so far.
And I think it rewards holders and people that knew about the project or heard about it or been,
Exactly.
like in the early days, like, hey, I've been watching this thing since day one and I've been wanting to get one. So they're giving you that option to be able to do that. So I like that. The whitelist.
That's true too. I've never considered it from that point of view, Tommy, because we've always been pretty fortunate with snagging the projects that we really wanted. And when we miss out, it's usually just because we're not available for the drop or forget about the drop or something. But to be really excited in about a project, have been in there since day one, watching and on the Discord, every single week. And then when the drop comes and you don't get one, and it's been like, I've been doing this for 7 weeks with these guys. And now I'm like watching all my friends that I made in Discord post their new NFT. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't get mine. Because
I missed out or
sucks. Yeah,
I had to work, something came up.
Yeah.
Like that's where I know TJ, you're on the road a lot. Like it's hard to be able to do that.
That's why I said I'm thankful for Reorg for that aspect, because I can get stuff when I'm on the road. But as far as like being slow and not as reliable as the other ones is frustrating sometimes. Like I missed out on an extra Spoopy that one time. I missed out on Baby Alien, and I was watching them for a few weeks, and I didn't get it because of the Yoroi. Honestly, I'm blaming Yoroi.
It's crazy to me.
You're watching Aeonian Sky. You didn't know how the time zones worked.
Yeah,
it's crazy to me. I minted a Clay Nation like on Yoroi. Like I can never imagine.
I did that too. That was my second drop or my first one. Stick Frick, or that was my first drops.
Yeah, Stick Fricks, those are good. Yeah, man. So the Yummi Universe, big again, shout out to them too for trying something new, and it worked. I'm excited because now they can play around with it to like continue to do these future like holiday drops, and they still keep the supply at 10,000, which is awesome. And I'll see. I wonder what the value for those things are really gonna, continue to develop as NFTs grow over on the space, and liquidity kind of comes into this market.
They really seem like a project that it depends on partially them and how much they continue to engage and keep moving forward, and then also the community really is strong with Yummi, so them pushing things forward.
Yeah. And then, Christmas time, like obviously it's fun. They get a chance to theme it. And we always thought, a lot of people were doing Christmas stuff this week. One of the ones that I wanted to shout out today that came out for some Christmas stuff was the BlockOwls, with the Glitchy Christmas one that came out today.
That was a surprise.
I was pumped to get that because that was my first blockout. I really like it.
So cool.
BlockOwls they do the artwork on these things is amazing, dude. Like I love the guy Kent who creates these things. They're so clean looking, and it's
look at the reflection too. I've said that before about boxes and stuff, but he does such a good job with that.
When it turns and it actually like the refraction and how like it distorts the picture, like where it gets long again when it hits the corners of it as it spins. Like there's a crazy amount of detail that goes into this.
Yeah, I didn't even look at the actual reflections as I'm looking in the background for that stuff. It looks really good.
The reflections, they did a good job.
Yeah, that's when they need to get some sort of like 3D box. I would buy the snow globe if they moved inside of it. That'd be amazing.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, it was just like I think it was 9,999 of these things at 10 ADA. So there's no stress on the mint or anything like that. So I ended up grabbing it, and again, me being just quick on the trigger, I got the number 2 one out of all these.
You got number 2?
I got number 2 of these things. So I was definitely quick on that stuff. Yeah, look at number 2 right here.
I mean, I feel like you could flip that.
Number 1. Nice to meet you, number 1 and number 2. But no, dude. So big shout out to BlockOwls too. I know we have this as well. I'm curious because they're doing like a an interactive type of like was it like a show or something along those lines? I think
story. It's like a community.
It's like an interactive story.
I don't know if he'll continue to animate as he did with that trailer. I'd be interested to see that though. They definitely have the skills to do that. So if they got a strong enough story and community going, they could easily make it into some sort of show.
Well, they had done like in other airdrops, and they had something like with the spaceships earlier in the week as well. I don't have the graphics up for that, but they had done that as well, and their community is starting to build really well. And
you might have shown the preview last week, even of the spaceships. I think we did.
Yeah, and those looked really good. I haven't been nearly involved in the Discord as I should be. It's just so hard to keep up with all of them, but we're big fans of BlockOwl over here too.
Even the storytelling in the trailer that we showed is strong enough. I felt like, Tommy, where they. Like there's no audio or talking, there's no dialogue in it, but it still had that story to it, just from watching it, where you could understand what was going on and what the little BlockOwl was doing as it was flying the spaceship around. So they could easily kind of roll that into a show and make it pretty simple
the
as far as
animation
like
is
that.
sick
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what would drive it. Like the animation's good enough, and they could have like this even non-dialogue. It was interesting to watch still.
Yeah, I'd like I said, I'd buy one of these things. And the cool thing about this is they're another partnering up at some point. I think they're mentioned with Nano frames. So
That's
I'm
really cool to
excited.
see out
I would
there.
love to see my Nano frame have one of, have my BlockOwls. So definitely, if anybody's, listening or anything like that, make sure you're picking these things up. 10 ADA for these. I mean, it's a fun investment. And one thing I was thinking about too, which is fun for other people, is like stocking stuffers. Like my mom has a Yoroi wallet now. My brother has one.
That's cool.
10 ADA, like drop one of these things in there. Hey man, I
Not
don't
a
know
bad
if it's
idea.
gonna,
I like
that's
that.
it's like a little Christmas gift for these people that who may not go ahead and actually do this stuff like on the regular like we do. But hey,
I
it's
didn't
a
get a
fun little
stocking
way.
stuffer from you. Like, my
Dude,
wallet
I'm
address.
sorry. I gave you a stocking stuffer. Don't you
You
say
did.
that. Wraith over there. I gave you guys a stocking
did
stuffer. Or
give
he
me
gave you a stocking stuffer
It's true.
for me to give to you.
For both of us.
Yeah, that was from Wraith. But shout out to him, and shout out to BlockOwls as well. But one of the last things I wanted to talk about going into this past week that was huge, that launched, and it was a little frustrating at times, was the actual ADA handles themselves. God, do you guys remember the ADA handles?
Do I remember the ADA handles?
Well, I didn't know about it till it was already over. So
it's
I mean, I knew about it. I knew about it as TJ was getting his denial letter.
I waited like
48 hours, like after the actual
15 hours
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
Well, so I had actually, like I said, I forgot to tell you guys about this. Like back in the day, I think I may have mentioned it like a long time ago.
Say that again. Say that last sentence again.
Hey, don't. Hey, no, I still warn. I
Gordon,
put
run
it
the
in.
tape back.
Put
Run the
it
tape back
in.
on that, Gordon.
Yeah, Gordon.
Gordon, are you recording right now? You listen to this shit.
Run that
Yeah,
back.
run.
No,
let's go to the cameras.
I went ahead. I'll pull this. So I was on like the sign up list for these OG things, but like way back in the day. And the cool thing about this stuff was that, like I said, I have my thing right here, was if you had signed up way back in the day and like verified like your stuff, you had like this OG tag in there, which is like, I was number 60 out of 24, 38 of these things. So some of these that you were able to go and like, you had to I think it was 12 p.m. on like a Saturday, you had to actually go ahead and put your email address in, do the little captcha thing, and then send it. It would queue you up into the wait list. And that wait list was like, oh yeah, it'll be like over 3 hour wait. And I was like, all right. And then it was like the longest wait in the world. I think I was in like super early on mine, and mine still took like 8 hours for me to be able to get in there.
Well, I got that email too saying it's gonna be over 3 hours or more. Wait for your email saying you're coming up.
Well, then it was like, you're almost up, and it's like you're 3 away. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? 3 minutes, 3 hours, 3 days?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck was that email? Like, and everybody was the same way. And I didn't have I had to re-download the Gmail app for my phone just so I would have like the notifications pop up for my different thing of like when I'm getting these emails. Because I was sitting there like, dude, it's a Saturday, dude.
I slept like shit that night. I kept waking up every few hours looking at my phone to see if I got an email from them.
I heard horror stories of people like literally who couldn't go to sleep for this shit.
Okay, that's what this was. That was like people that were missing the email and who didn't get it in time. You lost your spot.
Yep.
Yeah.
That I did. I was reading
10 minutes. You had a 10-minute window to like
claim
claim the fucking link. Yeah, that's what.
Oh my God,
I don't check my phone that often. I really don't.
That's why like everybody was freaking out. They're like, what the hell?
My email, I should say.
And everybody was really frustrated a little bit about that. So if you had reserved, they had reserved some, like pre-reserved some of the big names in the CNFT space for certain people. And then if you had whitelisted way in the back of the day, you were guaranteed like you had to verify like your email and Discord and stuff like that. But then there was others where you would just go ahead and grab like random ass names, and people were getting their shit held up. Pretty much like people were getting locked out of their things. Like I know for us, actually, I found nano frames. Because I was searched every single one of like the people we had done stuff with just to make sure that their stuff wasn't taken already. And if it was, I grabbed it because it was only 10.8 at the time. And again, I threw it back to nano frames. Like, here you go, guys. Like, just there you go. And cool. Obviously they were super appreciative. And then there's some people who, like, I saw Clay today, or I don't know if it was yesterday or today, but they were like, we finally got Clay back, and it cost us Clay Nation and 500 ADA to get it back from the guy. They're like, wild. I was like, you motherfuckers! Like,
or Fettuccine.
I was reading
Fettuccine was another one. It was searching for his, but dude, we cannot not shout. This is one of the fucking funniest stories to me.
Did you search eltano?
Eltano right here. I did not search Eltano, but he goes, any of my bros know how to defuse a hostage situation. Eltano handle is being held captive, and it seems no matter how many genius nicknames I come up, this guy won't reply to me anymore. And I guess the guy's name was Dan, and he's just like Dan, Big Dan, Danny Boy, Danners, Danielson, Dingo, Dango, Django, D-Real, Dan the Man, Dan the Ken, and it had all these different. Daniel Radcliffe goes, Daniel, I hope you fall off a cliff. Daniel Radcliffe, Daniel, I hope you fall off a cliff. Like, so he had all these different names, and then finally, like, I was scrolling through last night and I looked through, and and all of a sudden I see it hit a handle bot. Handle Eltano was bought for 500 ADA, and he goes, all right, who the fuck bought this? Show yourself. Okay. So he's still looking for his handle right now.
Someone else bought Eltano. That's hilarious. That's amazing.
Yes. And so I don't know what was good, but he's like, that's what happens to a lot of people. They're still looking for their handles, or some people are like, this is not the real me. Don't send it to these people. Like, they're like prominent, like, people in the community. So the handles were definitely interesting, but like we had said, I managed to grab our Freedom 35ers and our F35 for us over here. And the less characters you had, the more expensive they got. So like,
Which I was
like,
surprised why I didn't understand why that was,
because it's more fun. Like, think about if you have like somebody like did like the Good Morning, like GM, like that one was super expensive. I think the only ones you couldn't do are the one character ones. Like the one character ones are like, they're going to auction those off. So like a period or something like that. But the two characters I think were the most expensive. And I think there were 500 ADA for those ones. And you had like the green handle on there. Like the blue one was like 100 ADA for like 3 to 4 characters. And then anything after that, like 5 to 7 plus or whatever, was 10 ADA. So, well, yeah, the cool thing about these, which I don't know if you guys have tried, I started using it now, which makes life so much easier, is you can go into your Nami wallet and
I use mine all the time. The one I got this weekend, I use it all the time.
You too, TJ.
Hey, if you want to send some ADA over my way, you can go ahead and do that. It's real quick. You just type in the little $sign and hit F35 on there, and boom, it goes right now. It goes to my wallet currently. But
I'm really happy for you.
Yeah, but no. So
it's Amaranth, right? Or no? Who you have? You have
Amaranth.
Who do you have? You have someone famous.
I got like Kylie Jenner or somebody. Yeah, I got Jake Paul too. I was minting those over there.
Jake the Snake.
I figured if there's going to be anybody you can extort, those are 2 people that you might as well go after, and just at least say, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? I got your ADA handle. You want?
And at least they've shown real, like, interest in NFTs before too. So that's a smart little snap.
Yeah, we got Barstool Sports over here too. We're big fans of theirs. So hey, you guys need it, I got you. No problem. That's a quick little, I got you guys. But I wouldn't obviously extort anybody inside like the CNFT community. Like, obviously it's fucked up. We're over here making content. Like, I'm not going to hold up their shit over this way, but celebrities, they got a little bit of money. Hey, it's an opportunity. It's like buying web domains, right? Like back in the day, like people would just like rip those things up, and then they would be like, all right, now give me $20,000, it's yours. And this company that makes millions, like, I fucking pay the guy, get him out of here.
Do you guys remember in elementary school, whitehouse.org and like whitehouse.com? And it was just like porn. Because White House is like whitehouse.gov. So someone had that domain back in the day, and it was just like porn on it. Yeah, you still in like elementary school, you still had to get on the computers on it because it was like the White House website, but it wasn't. It was whitehouse.org or .com or one.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah,
I feel like I remember hearing about a story now that you're saying it's starting to be like, yeah. But it's the ADA handles.
Similar kind of thing. I can't believe that thing with Eltano. I'm curious to see how that place out now.
He goes, who the fuck bought this? Show yourself. I can't believe the disrespect they're doing to the king right now. He's just
they're definitely following him. They know who he is. And for sure.
You don't just type Eltano's not a normal name to go in there and just rip. So whoever's fuck's holding up the king, dude, if you're watching this dude, get back.
It's like in Billy Madison, who would steal 30 bags of lunches? They're all laughing in the back, eating it.
Right?
some guy just watching this.
You're like, fuck that dude. No, that's fucked up. That it's more fucked up that he didn't give it to him. Like, it wasn't sent to him, but somebody else bought Eltano for 500. Like, they sent it to somebody else, and Eltano.
Right, I bet Eltano would have bought it. Like,
100. He's got 150 trees. Dude. He's
Dan, what are you doing? Come on, Dan.
Just that whole sentence.
Fucking Dan the man, dude. Daniel fall off a cliff, dude. He goes, it's me, your biggest fan, Dan. This might be the last CD I ever write your ass. He's like, oh man, he just kings himself.
That's
God, man. I love Eltano.
To all of his own messages.
We need to get him down.
He always does that, dude. That's his thing, bro. I love Eltano. Apparently, we found out from Damian, dude, that he's down under, somewhere down there. We just need to. I would love to talk to him.
Yeah, this times might be a little off.
Yeah, eltano, bro. If you're watching, just get out. And you can talk in caps lock. Well, even
we had to put him upside down.
I would get a Nokia emulator for him, put him on the podcast, and just let him type and let the robot voice just like type it out for us in his response if he wants. How funny would that be?
That'd be perfect for him. Yeah, 100%.
Dude, I love that'd be fucking hilarious. But yeah,
I don't know, is that time difference like 15 hours off? I don't know, something crazy like that.
Something crazy like that. But yeah, man. So this year has been a crazy fast few months. It's been what we started this thing back in mid-October.
October 15th, yeah,
14, maybe 14, something like that. But somewhere in that range. And it's been, I don't even know, man. It's a whirlwind. We've done all these sit downs. We've done 10 podcasts now. This is number 10. Oh, you know what? I didn't even say this is episode 10 for my OGs, A1 since day one. Didn't even catch that.
Yeah, we missed that one. Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah. Well, there you go. We caught it on the back end.
You know what? Let's redo the whole thing.
Hey, you know what? Re-record. Yep. It's only midnight over here. We're
Gordon,
you know,
we're going again.
Gordon, run it back.
It's a long one.
Staying late tonight.
Fill up the coffee.
Freedom after dark.
Freedom after dark. But I like that, dude. You know what we should run? That should be our Twitter space going in the next area. Freedom after dark. Yeah, sure. That'll be our thing. So I know. So I think what we need to do is we need to come up with our own roadmap for 2022. Maybe we'll look into putting a nice little infographic out there. But I think going into this, we're coming up on 200 subscribers now on YouTube. We're pushing 300 followers on Twitter, and this has been all organic, right? We have not done a single giveaway. We haven't really promoted ourselves outside of like the interactions we have with the community itself. So it's kind of crazy just the growth that we've had, and we appreciate everybody's support who has like been with us so far during this journey. And it's it's just getting started. This rocket ship's just heating up, I think, over on our side.
Love it. I always like to see the feedback from all the different communities that we talk about on the show. It's exciting to see that people are watching our stuff, especially the communities that are minting these NFTs and stuff like that. I think it's great.
Well, TJ, I know you're a pretty big YouTube guy too. Like I watch a decent amount of YouTube videos, and it's something you see a lot of like creators say, especially people that do like solo shows and stuff, where they like enjoy reading the feedback in the comments, and you always kind of think that's one of those like, yeah, that's just what you say. It's it's along with make sure to like and subscribe. I like reading the comments. That's just what they say, but it is actually cool. It's because we get to interact back then, and it's actually nice, as opposed to just kind of talking out into the void. It's also hearing like what people enjoy and what they actually works. It's been cool to read and see.
It's always like one of us too, like in the chat, like in our personal text message thread, was like, oh, we have a X amount of subscribers now. Oh, do you see how many views we got on that video? Or do you see what I'm saying? It's just always we're always blown away by something each week on each of the videos or podcasts we make.
Or even like the ghost chain thing. That was one of the coolest things ever. Like where
ghost chain.
We didn't like have a topic that we went and shared in their Discord because we had talked about them. They just kind of found it by themselves, and we got clued in that they were, hey, these guys are sharing it because they liked what you said about it. Like that was awesome to see. It's really cool. And then we get to get involved in their community because of that. Otherwise we probably would have never, beyond you talking about it that little bit in our show, Tommy, I don't know if we would have got him any further. And now, I'm fully committed.
Now we're inside the thing. I'm looking. I know they got their Soul token up and coming here, and we're in the works right now, trying to get something together with them. So hopefully, maybe next year we'll get a chance to go ahead and talk with them and learn a little bit about what they have going on, because it seems they're very ambitious what they have for the marketplace and their Soul token and other things that are going to be coming up. So I definitely need to get me a few more ghost chains. I know this week has wiped me out ADA-wise, and definitely going to need a week off to go ahead and recoup a little bit, see how crypto goes, and take some time with the family and it's kind of recharge, because it has been crazy, man. These double weeks where you record on a Monday or a Tuesday and then record the podcast on a Wednesday, and Tom, you got to turn around those videos. We got to get all the posts, everything lined up. It's a lot, man, getting into these I guess I never really thought about
shout out to Tom, the editor, shout out to Tommy marketing and reaching out to these guys and interacting, man. You guys are killing it.
And it's fun to want to do it well too, like not just kind of throwing it all.
Yeah, we don't want anything half-assed.
We could just put up a Zoom call and that's it. It's fun to actually get involved.
What do you mean? You don't like these little fucking lights?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. We could just have a live Zoom call, or just like do a Twitch and be like, watch the pod. Here's a link.
Yeah.
So it's fun to be creative and work together. I've been enjoying that part just as much.
Well, the fun thing about this too is I feel like every week we always get harder and harder on ourselves. Like, do we need to do this? We need to do, the tags right, or the visuals right, or can we do this little stand in? Like, what are we going to put up on the screen? Like, it gets more and more in depth. I feel like we keep building on that, and that's where I think we really want to I know me. like personally, and I know a lot of us, as we've talked, want to really continue to grow this podcast. Like, this is something we're committed to. We all have full-time jobs, we have careers, we have families, different things, life events are going on right now, but this is definitely something that we're all still trying to pursue, and we're trying
to for sure.
And we're trying to make an impact too in this community itself. We're out here, we're trying to, help people out, get word out to certain projects and certain things that we enjoy, that we think others might, our fan base might enjoy as well.
We're just regular minters ourselves, regular collectors, just like everyone else minting out there. We just like to talk about it, and spread the news that we see.
Yeah, and I think I've said it before, I'm usually more like one to just kind of lurk and, be involved in the community by knowing what's going on and watching, but not always necessarily actively engaging. So it's been fun to do this because it's kind of our way of engaging and getting involved, at least for me, in the community, and meeting people like Corn and getting to, post with them and engage with them on Twitter and stuff like that has been a lot of fun, where I probably wouldn't have normally done that. I usually am just kind of watching from the outside, but in that way, or to kind of put ourselves out there like this has been way to kind of get
involved. It's been crazy to like actually put ourselves out there. It's like, I think we found out this past week at like a Christmas party, and they're like, you have a podcast? Like, one of our close buddies, like, you got a podcast? I'm like, yeah. She's like, why the fuck didn't you tell me, man? I'm like, dude, it's just like, we were kind of like just wanting to let it grow, I'm not over here shilling everything.
Our main chat, they don't even know that chat.
They know now we have some stuff. I just haven't said it. I haven't sent really anything over. So it's been fun to kind of grow it that way. And I think going forward for us, that's why I think we will set up some sort of like kind of goal or guide for us. I think Twitter Spaces obviously are a really good way to engage with people, and I think we're starting to build up a decent amount of people that are starting to get here to listen each and every week, to be able to start interacting and then even jumping in spaces with others as well. On top of, a Discord is something we always play around with. We have a personal Freedom 35 one that we deal with, but we may open that up to the floodgates over here if we can get some mods. I have some people that I've actually talked to that are like, we could help you out with some stuff like that.
Or like going back to like Freedom 35, or that, like, why we came with the name, retiring at 35. Like, you and I this week, we minted on a project, right? We went back and flipped it for, a little bit more money than we spent on it. So I thought that's just a test to us being Freedom 35. Or that's the whole goal, is to, be retired at 35.
Or even like your horse right now, Tom, if you wanted to actually flip it, and take probably a future hit, because it's probably gonna be worth more, but like right there, just
it's
continue building off those.
You can't get those kind of returns. Like, I hold on to a good clay. Some of these we basically are positioning ourselves the same way that everybody else inside this community has,
of course,
for a bigger growth opportunity. Like, everybody, our Cardano already
invest in the future
is already a featured forward coin that I'm already invested in the first place. It's just these NFTs are a fun way to go ahead and, I think next year you're going to see, the year of the NFT, I would say, truly, and the metaverse is probably going to be the two big things. If Freedom 35,
that yet.
Yeah,
you keep saying next year. I'm not like it's a week
2022
and a half away. I'm not.
It's like next week.
We're talking. You keep saying that, like, oh, we want to set up some
2
sit downs. It's going to be in January 2022, and it's like, what are you talking about? It's February 2020.
Yeah,
we're still on lockdown.
It happened so quick, dude. Man, I think looking back, like, obviously, like, the last episode for the year, some things, I don't know, this is kind of impromptu, just like ending for this conversation, but I don't know, for you guys, like, what, I guess,
Gordon, cue the sad music.
No sad. Just the little violin. But for you guys, like, what is the most, like, I guess, one of the most fun moments or things that stood out to you from this podcast or this community that, like, you guys, like, remember or, like, appreciated or something along those lines? Because I know for me, like, one of the, just the fact that we started the podcast was fun, and
it's
the Cardano,
hard to just pick.
Yeah, it's hard to pick a moment. I know for me, like, even this last week, the CardanoTrees was, like I said, it was kind of surreal. In the Art Basel thing, I think for me was probably one of the fun things too, to be able to actually go down there and meet with people that we actually, got a chance to talk to and meet online first. That was a cool opportunity that arose from this podcast itself.
Well, I'll say each week though, like, having a different community or artist reach out or engage with what we've posted, I think that is cool, and what drives us more, like, oh wow, this person liked our stuff and talked about this, like, now this group liked our stuff and talked about, each week it was always someone different or someone new that we've either talked about or mentioned, and now they're seeing our stuff and they're reacting to it, which always kind of drove us further to keep doing this, which is awesome to see.
I have to say the same. The connections that we've got to make through this, and I mean, like I was just saying before, where I probably wouldn't normally have really interacted a lot with this community at all, besides just being here to make some money from it, where I'm actually now enjoying that part of it. And I don't necessarily get the time that I'd like to interact with everyone as much as I'd want to.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to the point now where I feel like we're connecting with so many people that we're like leaving people off now, even like forgetting about some people because there's been so many. And that's been so cool. Getting to talk to, Fettuccini, and Jace Matias and Corn and Jabronius was awesome to sit down with. So just getting to sit down with all these guys, and then also hearing some of the artists and creative side that goes along with this, which is, I think, for me, the more fun part. Some of the creativity that goes in these projects. I've really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I agree on all that stuff. The people that you met, I think are probably, like you said, the biggest thing. And I had the screen of one last time. I just wanted to share it because I think our boy Eltano says it best here. He had a tweet out here. He said, maybe the real bull market was the friends we made along the way.
I was just about to say that, the friends we made along the way.
I just wanted to shout. All right. I mean,
but even
really,
stuff like that, though, like things that I normally wouldn't necessarily be involved in. And I probably would never have been involved in the discords enough or even talked to you guys enough about this stuff.
I used to be scared to talk about them.
Yeah, I would have known who Eltano was though. Then we would have just continued to talk about the financial side of things. And having done this, we've been engaged more with like the Discord communities and actually talking and following along on Twitter, and getting more comfortable to where we joke now and post along, which is fun to do. And then getting to see those kind of things like from Eltano is just one of those where before I didn't use Twitter at all. Or if I did, it was just to like scroll through and look at like pictures of things.
I don't use social media in general that much at all.
Exactly.
Neither do I. But I'm over on Twitter. I got resurrected. I had that thing. Like I said, I hadn't had a tweet in like 2 years. And then this thing came along, and then boom, I just became like a Twitter fucking fiend. I have all these notifications.
I check that first all the time. I check it all the time.
Dude, I get all the different notifications. It's crazy the interactions you can have with these people though too. And like,
but getting to see that Eltano thing, just like that quick chuckle in the day, it's just those like nice little additions you don't even really think about.
Well,
like,
what he said yesterday.
I wouldn't even know who this guy was, without this.
No, I still like I just know he's in caps locking you. He's a big supporter. Yeah, he's like, if you go watch this right now, or I'll punch you in the face or something like that.
That was funny.
But it's just the people you meet along the way. Like another big one for us this year was Wraith CNFT. Like super big shout out to him too, man. Like Haptics over there out in Norway, of all places. Like we met so many people throughout, like Bastion from Munich, Germany,
Damian, Argentina. We just talked
to from Buenos Aires. Yeah, that was awesome.
Like crazy though, the connection. Cardano is so global for a lot of this different things. And here we are in Florida, just talking, shooting the shit, just that like average guys. Just here we are getting to talk to these people out there. It's crazy the connections you can make doing this stuff. So I think that for me is probably one of the fun things, and then getting to be able to interact with them like on Twitter. And it's like, I know you, I don't know you, but that's what I think next year we the Legacy Pass with CNFT Con, like that's going to be like the party for everybody, right? Like the big one where everybody gets to go to Vegas, and they've had a full year into this stuff. And again, it feels like it's been forever, but realistically it's only been 6-7 months since this thing's really gotten going. So it'll be fun to meet all these people in real life as these events start to come up more and more.
Like you said, it should be kind of the celebration if Cardano continues and the market continues, like we're all at least invested and hoping it will. It should be like you said, a party, because we'll all be
everybody's starting to
doing
level
pretty
up
well.
over time.
Yeah,
we'll take that little rocket ship and we'll fly right up. Yeah.
So we should be at least the early ones in, to where there's probably still going to be people jumping in then, and we'll be like, should have been here a year ago and seen this.
Right. We're gonna look back at this Christmas episode a year ago and just be like, what the fuck were we doing back then?
Why does Tommy wearing that fucking Christmas hat?
Next year I got the hat, bro. Next year I'll put the hat on.
But it's like talking about when smart contracts first came in, like you remember that? You remember those days?
Dude, remember the NFT that marked that off, the hard fork? Everybody was doing that. Like, I remember remember our marketplace without smart contracts. Remember you had to wait 24 hours for the seller? Like, God, I can't wait for that to go away. But I think the liquidity, everything's going to happen. There's going to be so much that happens next year. But for us, as far as plans go, we're going to look to be getting more engaged with our actual community itself outside of these things. We'll definitely be looking to get in more contact and probably do some follow-up interviews with some of the people that we've talked to, and see where get an update off these sit downs with some of the people that we've connected with, and then also like to jump onto some new stuff that we haven't, the people that we've been looking, wanting to talk to for a while. Like I'd love to talk to Yummi. I'd love to talk to Happy Hoppers. Goat Tribe would be another big community that we've, some of these guys that are out there. I'd like to talk to Fed again about the Demon Baby hit squad.
Clays,
that
of
gets
course.
Clays, obviously. Yeah, that would, people that, maybe we couldn't approach a few months ago, but as we continue to grow and the space gets, grows and grows, maybe, that would be like kind of the goal for us, is just to have these kind of conversations, because I know it was very nice. The guy Feddy CT over from CardanoTrees the mod. He's like, hey, thanks for got a chance to listen to the sit down with Damian yesterday. He goes, Damian doesn't really, Damian doesn't talk as much, and you guys got him to interact pretty well. So thank you guys. It was an awesome video, and that kind of stuff is what I like. That makes me feel good, like that. Like, hey,
it was awesome.
We made some sort of an impact. Yeah.
And I mean, I think for all of us, I would say, probably another nice thing is just how surprising this has been. Because, we didn't kind of set this up as like, this wasn't our Freedom 35. Yeah, it wasn't like we're going to become professional podcasters through this full time, and then I'm going to be Joe Rogan and sign a $100 million contract, Spotify. We just were doing this because it seemed like it would be something fun to do. We had the talents and like the skills to edit and put it together and put it out there, and it's a couple hours during the week. But you guys just set everything else up, the podcast, the audio side of things, and then the marketing and all that is takes a lot of time as well. And beyond that, though, we just were like, we'll start putting it out there, and then hey, we're getting a few views, so might as well keep doing it. It's been fun to do, but it's been surprising to get this kind of feedback. It's been fun to have people reach out and want to sit down or take the time and talk to us and teach us about what they're doing. Is blowing me away. I wasn't ever prepared for this 10 weeks ago when we started. I never thought we'd be doing this kind of thing. I would have been happy with 25 views. And
I used to watch Twitch all the time. I watch my Twitter all the time. Just
Twitter, YouTube, like and Discord, man. Discord, it was only for video game. I didn't even have the app because I was so like, it was only on my computer, and now it's on my mobile, and I'm sitting there just in the chat rooms, like lurking, hitting reactions to people, and like, it's fun to interact with people every now and then.
TJ, had you ever done like a Twitter, like listen to a Twitter space really before?
I have listened to a few. Oh no, before this. No.
And I would think about it like, maybe there'll be some good financial, like some hidden like secrets on what I should buy next. But I start listening, and like 5 minutes in, like start doing something else. Like, I'm not listening to this. Turn it off anyway. And now it's like I actually enjoy jumping in, and sometimes it's like, hey, I've talked to some of these guys, I know them, and it's cool listening to them talk about what's coming up for the future. Like when Fettuccine's talking about what's coming up for Demon Babies and stuff. It's actually been fun to get involved that way. Also, I would never have listened to those.
I thought those Twitter spaces was like a classroom setting. Like I don't want to be in there and then get called on because I'm not paying attention for a minute. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
You speak? Yeah. Oh shit! I raised my hand.
Get a question? Question? No question?
First time, yeah. It's just like, am I on mute? Like I'm not talking right now. Right? Like, I'm just like breathing into my headset, and they're like all trying to have a conversation. Like, who the fuck just came in breathing into their headset?
Right. Oh, those are the worst. Like, what were I think there was a famous Twitter space one. Our favorite was the Card Lords. Like, there's some like kids just jumping in, like, fuck. Yeah, like they started yelling. They're like,
they just started going off. Like, yeah, exactly.
It makes it think of like the Dane Cook stand up. They're ordering Burger King, like yelling into the microphone. Yeah.
She wants it her way. Let's get this woman some sweet and sour sauce.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think of.
Fuck, man. But yeah.
Thanks, Chewbacca. My ears are bleeding now. That's what he said.
Right.
2 cheeseburgers. Exactly that though. Yeah, that kind of stuff. I thought I was just like, I'm on mute, right? Like I don't know how these Twitter spaces work. And now it's been fun to jump in. Like during the workday and stuff, I'll be doing accounting and I get the notifications for them. You can set little reminders, and I've actually
just throw the earbud in and just start listening.
I like that we all like jump in sneakily, and then one day we see Tommy as a speaker. Like, Tommy, did you talk before? I just jumped in.
I got the notification, jumped in. You guys are both already in there.
Yeah,
I had to say hi to Fed. Like I know I need to do that more often because you get a little bit more comfortable too. Like as we're talking and doing these podcasts too. Like you get a little bit more confident in like just speaking in general because we do it so much now. Like when we first got, if you go back and look at our episode 0 to like where we're at now, it's so like it's so different and it's so crazy.
Like even how this started, like I even just made the suggestion to you, Tommy, because you still do know so much information about NFTs and Cardano in general. I was like, why don't you make a YouTube channel, like, and just do what you're doing with us in the chat,
bro.
and you're like, nah, I don't want to do that. I was like, well, let's start a podcast, like the 3 of us. And you're like,
I remember it was such a joke. Yeah, they were like, let's just start a podcast. And I was like, yeah, we'll rant at round table. We had some of our friends that were like gonna go ahead and like jump in and like, and everybody, and it kind of just died. And like,
because we've kind of passed around a podcast idea in the past just for fun. Like, hey, we always talk sports in our group chat. Let's do like a sports debate, shooting the shit, getting wasted podcast until we're just like drunk yelling at each other about sports teams and stupid ideas like that. Just like little dumb stuff because it's what we do in our group chats anyway. And then this is again something we did in our group chat that we're like, let's do a podcast. All right, sure. And then we like Wednesday night. Okay.
Hey Tommy, order your mic, order your mic, order your camera.
Yeah, I told you, order your mic.
TJ was like, hey, you literally reminded me, and I'm like, fuck, I didn't order the camera. All right, Amazon
get a
Prime, let's
camera,
go.
Get a mic, it's gonna do
Yeah.
it. I found everything. I just fucking sent you all the links. Order
Fine, fucking I'll buy it. All right. And then we had no idea what the fuck we were doing, and you just started talking about it and putting it out there, and it was cool, like to like just shower it out to like the community, and then like see like you get a little bit of response. And then the more and more each week, you see more people starting to kind of tune in, and you get involved in Twitter, and it's fun to start like becoming part of that community itself. So I'd love to partner up with other stuff during like if there's events or charity stuff like going into next year, like I would love to get, Tom, you're getting good with this animation stuff. It'd be cool to get like the Freedom 35 like token, something along those lines, or some like artwork that you could even come up with to contribute to some of these things going forward. Like we'll figure out ways for us to actually, besides us just sitting here talking to you, evolve this thing too, as we grow.
Definitely get some more people involved. I thought of that, something we could like release just for, people that like just to give to them, like for like listeners. I don't know, like YouTube subscribers or something.
First 350 subscribers, dude.
Yeah, something like
we're
that.
Watching all you guys right now, like everybody out here. If
like
you're
that.
watching and you're not subscribed, there's your hey. I mean, I'm not saying it's happening, but it can't hurt, right? So yeah, I think I'm always been hesitant on the Twitter giveaways, but it is the season like for like giving and stuff like that. I think maybe we'll kick the new year off with something fun going into next year for everybody. So yeah, dude, 2021 wrapping up and heading into 2022. This is the last podcast for us this year.
Fun.
It's been a good ride, and definitely enjoy a week off to go ahead and take some time. Tom, I don't know if you have, we may get a clip or two that just pops up out of nowhere. Maybe
we'll have some stuff next week to post still. Just, it won't be a new episode, but some stuff to post and things like that. Get out there and kind of relax and enjoy your post holiday week and get ready for a strong 2022. I know I'll be ready.
I'll be ready. Let's do it.
Same dude. Well, Freedom 35ers. That was Bo's tagline. Baby. Freedom 35ers, baby. Yeah, that was the tagline. But yeah, guys, appreciate everybody listening. It's been fun. Thank you for the support so far. And at the end here, I could not play it one more time. Make sure to like and subscribe.
That's right.
Smash that like button. Right? All right, guys. Well, have a good Christmas holiday. And
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah.
Freedom 35ers, baby.